Hey everybody, welcome to the latest and greatest episode of Rider Club Radio. The only podcast on the internet. What?
Nothing.
Because we're late.
The only podcast on the internet about Kamen Rider since 1971. I'm your host, Jeff.
And I'm Liam.
I'm Max.
And I'm Tomas.
The gang's back together.
The boys are back in town.
Only one of us is sick, and it's not Tomas.
Yeah. I'm sick and tired of this fucking podcast. This week, this month, we're going to be talking about Kamen Rider Build episodes 21, 22, 23, 24, and 25.
What a smorgasbord.
We're talking about a lot of shit. We'll probably also be discussing Lupinranger versus Patranger. And I got a fun game.
Patranger?
Pat Sage.
They call it Patranger, but like it's apparently romanized as Pat Ranger.
I thought it was Patranger.
My favorite ranger, Pat.
Pat. It's Pat.
I'm sure there is some Power Ranger called Pat.
Is he the Green Ranger because he's Irish? Anyway.
Is that offensive? I don't know.
You can make fun of the Irish.
Sure.
It's a bit late, Liam.
Yeah.
You can make fun of the Irish. It's fine.
Yeah. It's too late to be asking questions about that.
Liam.
Yes.
Tell us all about what happened on Kamen Rider Build episode 21.
Everyone knows about Kamen Rider Build episode 21 because it was an instant classic with how great it was. So, if you remember fucking forever ago, there's like a fight with the Hokuto trio. They're coming and Banjo is gonna fight them. And
God, this was so long ago.
It was so long ago, right? Feels like a year ago.
Yeah.
So Banjo, he uses the slash driver. He uses fucking cross charge back when it was new and interesting, and he starts getting really aggressive. Sento uses hazard to like stop him and help win the fight, and he starts getting aggressive when he loses his fucking mind and starts beating everybody up. And he beats
brain blasted.
Every time there's like a thing in Kamen Rider that's like an old fucking cartoon or whatever, Max is always the first one on that.
I have no original thoughts.
Like a repository.
I only have references.
So he gets brain blasted by Hazard. He gets
finger blasted?
He gets finger blasted.
This is E-rated. Please
No,
control yourself.
0A. He beats the shit out of everybody in the room, except for Aoba, who he just straight up kills by kicking him. And there's
he grabs him by the head and like sucks his energy out or something like that. And then
he seriously beats the shit out of him. Yeah.
Well, he beats the shit out of him
until he's dead. He uses Max Hazard.
It does not pay to be ugly in the Kamen Rider world.
No, it does not. And there's a big scene like, dude, boss, I'll never forget you. And he turns into blue sparkles. They get blown away on the wind into the lake. And Sento's like, oh my god! And it passes a week, and Sento is just like a wreck in his basement. He's hiding out in his basement. And they're like, we're going to settle...
he's a murderer.
He's a murderer. The governments are like, okay, this has gone on too long. Someone died in this war. This is too far.
Yeah.
We're going to settle this.
This is where I draw the line.
Someone with a name died.
We're going to settle this with a one-on-one match between Kamen Riders. Sento, would you like to participate? And Sento says, nope, I'm hiding in a basement. I don't want to be Rider anymore. So Banjo instead steps up, and he's meanwhile like in the during the lead up they're doing some operations. The Hokuto boys are busting in and stealing bottles. Banjo can't hold him off on his own though because he's not the main rider. They kick his ass, and Banjo's like, dude, I'm look, is this about Aoba? Because I'm sorry. And they're like, don't be sorry, it's war, stupid face. And they kick him. And a week passes.
About now?
What?
Because you were talking about Banjo, and then all of a sudden you were talking about Sento going to go visit the gravesite, or the spot where he killed him, and then he was talking to Grease, and he's groveling and wanting him to punch him.
He hasn't got
Banjo
there
also
yet.
apologizes.
He was talking about Banjo getting beat up.
Banjo
Let the man
apologizes
work.
mid-fight.
Let the man work. He's done 1 million episodes.
Let me
Liam
weave the
knows
story.
what he's doing.
There's the scene where Banjo's fighting him in the hallway, and then like mid-fight, he's like, "I'm sorry," and they kick his ass anyways.
He didn't want
But
to.
they do kick him.
They what? Do they? Yeah. Do they literally kick him? Is this 100% accurate?
Yes, they literally kick him.
They also kick the wall.
They kick the wall, and it makes a really bad effect.
It's a kicking party.
So Sento goes to the site where he murdered Aoba, and he begs forgiveness. He's like, "Please, if you won't forgive me, just beat the shit out of me. Grease, just punch my shit right here." And Grease says, "I'll punch your shit at the one-on-one rider battle tomorrow, loser." So Sento does, he's like, "Okay, I'll sign up for this. I'll meet with Soichi. Soichi will give me back all the bottles, and I will train and find the best matches and figure out how to win."
And then a week passes off screen, except for the hyper battle video?
Raising the hazard level.
Some
the
like
7
YouTube special. Right?
Yeah.
best matches, yeah. Guys, what do you think
I
about
did
episode
not watch.
21?
Well, I'm interested to hear what Trev has to say since he kind of watched it late, so he kind of already knew that it was good.
Yes.
So he kind of had to watch it through like a layer of
Expectations.
There was a big expectation for this episode because everyone and their mama was telling me how great it was. And honestly, it went in a direction I didn't think it was going to go in. When people usually talk about a Kamen Rider episode being like so fucking good, it means that like there's a lot of boom booms and people do karate at each other a lot.
There's a new form and a lot of special effects.
So when our boy murders a man and then is just horrifically depressed about it for a whole episode, that was unexpected in this series.
It was great.
There's been gravitas before, right? Where characters had to go through problems and changes and like there was interpersonal conflict, but nobody got fucking murked, right?
Yeah.
right.
It's the first time.
Well, he's talking about
I'm
Build.
talking about in Build.
Yeah.
Oh,
Also, fucking
Murked.
spoilers.
Yeah,
I didn't
guess
say what.
or who?
And nobody got murked in Build so far.
Yeah.
But ugly ass villain guy gets killed.
He's ugly, so he
And-
dies first. Yes.
Yes.
They go in order of
Seeing
ugliness.
seeing a character struggle with being a murderer, it just made me think about how different American media is to Japanese media.
Yeah.
Where, like, Spider-Man's not allowed to punch the Green Goblin. He has to jump into him in the 90s cartoon.
Yeah.
But in Japan, a guy murders another man and has to live with the horrible guilt of it.
You can
The
accidentally
Teenage
kill
Mutant
someone.
Ninja Turtles don't use their weapons.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
They all have swords and knives and shit. Don't stab anyone.
Just
Don't
kick
do
them.
that shit.
20. I'm not jizzing my pants over it like Liam is. Like, it's the greatest episode ever made. But it is a really damn good episode.
Mm-hmm.
Not only just like the story, but like the cinematography and everything. It was great.
Oh,
The
yeah.
show
Like-
changes after Aoba dies into like a different show. Like the
Just
It
like the
does.
tone.
yeah, the
They
pacing,
set the
turning
tone
the
really
camera
well.
work. It's totally different.
It's speaking of the scene where Sento is begging for forgiveness from Grease. That is shot beautifully.
Ooh.
There are a ton of really low angles that show just like metaphorically and physically how low Sento is.
Yeah.
Like when he had like the hallucination of like what's his name, Aoba standing over him,
Oh yeah.
and like the volume of the river increases, and then he just like starts dry heaving. I was like, holy shit!
That's something you expect to see at an art film
Yeah.
about somebody dealing with a loved one's death or something, but it's in this happy-go-lucky children's show.
Yeah, as anybody who's ever listened to Rider Club Radio knows, I only like stories when everyone's miserable and no one's happy. So I really
Something
liked
that reflects his own existence.
I really liked episode 21 of Build. It was just a great. It's just a thing where like if people were superheroes running around, I feel like something would eventually go horribly wrong for someone, and so it's nice to know that the showrunners realize that, and there is I hesitate to use the word realistic with a show like Kamen Rider, but there is a bit of a dramatic realism in episode 21, at least compared to the rest of the episodes before it.
There are consequences.
Yeah.
It's refreshing also to see like a superhero in anything to kind of you get to see like the consequences of what happens. Like sure, like Green Lantern might like drop a skyscraper on something and be like
They reflect
Man
on
of
their
Steel.
actions like they affect actual people
yeah,
instead of
but
just them being story beats.
you get to see like the burden a hero faces if something goes wrong.
Yeah.
And there is a dramatic shift after Alba dies.
Yeah,
The-
he's definitely not the same again.
No. The whole tone of the show does change. There's a level of remorsefulness in his character. And he sort of... He was like... It was all fun and games for a really long time for him. He's the hero. He's fighting to protect Toto against these crazy, wacky monsters that are, like, kidnapping people and turning them into monsters. And then the war seemed toothless when it started.
Mm-hmm.
But now that we've seen firsthand what war can push somebody to do, Sento's search was for power. He needed the power to win, and the cost of that power was completely unforeseen by him, and the repercussions are staying with him, which I love.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it was important for all of this to happen because there were already all of these consequences, all the tragedy that comes with actual war was going on, and you saw all of these people being killed, but the show didn't treat it like anything because the main characters had yet to experience it for themselves. And it's like how Grease said, it's like you're too optimistic, you're too naive. You know, this is war. It's not fun and games. We're not just palling around out here. Like, I didn't expect my friends to survive. I don't blame you.
I think...
And he relieves him. He attempts to relieve him of a lot of that guilt that's weighing on his mind, because he didn't really expect any other consequences to come out of it. He didn't expect anyone to just survive.
I remember,
Alba's just in the stag proto-Gashat anyway. They'll revive him later.
I remember when all this war stuff first started. I think it was last month we made the joke that, like, oh, the war is robots walking down the street. 5 robots walk down a street, and that's the war. So it's nice that they have given a little more of an emotional edge to the whole thing. And, like, you have Sento posturing, war's bad. But yeah, like you said, Tomas, when you show it up close like that, it's a little more... It's more engaging to the viewer.
Do you guys think that they're going to go for, even with having Sento suffer the consequences of taking a human life, and everyone pointing towards, your weaknesses and your naivety, and your focus, and your, like, friends are like a deterrent, all these people that you're trying to protect are what's stopping you from blah, 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 blah. Do you think they're just going to turn around and be like, my power is friendship?
Yes.
God,
Yes, they will.
Power's in your heart, Sento.
I don't have that much of a problem with that, but what a tonal shift if that does happen.
Yeah.
I don't control the grease with my brain, Sento. I use my heart.
My Kokoro.
That was a reference. I'm sorry.
What was it a reference to?
Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2.
The best part of
Put
this...
some money in the reference jar.
The best part of this whole episode was when he's about to spar with Night Rogue, and he puts the bottles in, and it goes, "Are you ready?" And it like hangs on that.
Mm-hmm. Because
You
he's
mean
not
with
ready.
Bloodstock?
Oh my god, am I ready?
Yeah, that
Have I
look
ever
of,
been
like,
ready?
unreadiness on his face when it says, "Are you ready?"
That's
And
I
he
was
starts
really
flashing
hoping-
back.
I was really hoping they would do that because I was thinking about like the next time he would transform and be like, it's gonna scream out like, "Are you ready?" And it's like, I mean, I don't think he's ever been ready. He was just playing around. He was playing under false pretenses.
I wonder if they planned that to have a thematic, like they planned the toy to be like the writer's like, yeah, make it say "Are you ready?" because I'm gonna work that into a dramatic arc later.
I think it's more of a happy
According to the guy who wrote Gaim, whose name is escaping me.
Again,
Urobuchi.
Urobuchi.
Yeah, Urobuchi.
Joe Gaiman.
They give them the toys ahead of time.
Do they?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
The toys come first, and they design the show around the
Yeah,
toys.
I guess that makes a lot more sense. given the nature of Kamen Rider.
Mm-hmm.
So that's episode 21. Would you guys like to hear about episode 22?
Yes.
Sure.
Let's get the vehicle rolling.
Okay, so a week later they have the battle in this fucking ridiculous arena that's like 100 miles off the ground.
It's 100 miles off the ground, and it's also 10 feet by 10 feet.
It's like an office cubicle. It's
so tiny.
It is.
It's like
it
they're
is.
gonna fall.
It's a suit actor's nightmare, where usually they work in like big open areas. They're like, here's this tiny little thing, and if you slip, you're dead. So
Yeah, you can't
It's
see.
hell in a
so
cell, except it's 100 feet high.
it's hell in heaven, and they're having a big fight, and it's revealed through a series of flashbacks that Sento, he said, "Look, I have to use Hazard to win. It's the only way. If I start killing you, Misora, take this switch and hit the switch, and it'll kill me." And Misora goes, "Can't you just make a switch to like remotely deactivate the belt or something? Does it have to kill you in turn?" And Sento goes, "My work is done," and he runs out. So
Now
there's a
that's
fight.
not
this
just-
together.
It doesn't have the same level of thematic weight to it.
Yeah, I know it's dramatic, but it
Maybe
doesn't make
there's
a
so
lot of
much
sense.
power in the belt that you can't simply disable it with a remote, and you simply have to interrupt it, and then like the power overloads and it blows up.
You have to
maybe there's
explode
a-
the person using it.
I don't know.
Yeah, it's a good heavy scene. There's a lot of heavy scenes this group of episodes.
So they have the fight. Sento uses all kinds of crazy combos. Whale jet and rose helicopter and tornado giraffe, I think, is another one. And he wins, or he's winning, and then Grease has a flashback. A lot of flashbacks during the fight. Grease has a flashback, reveals that he's faking his amnesia, which we already knew. He loves his friends, just pretends to hate them.
What a dumb thing to fake.
Yeah. And off in Hokuto, Hokuto mom reveals that she plans to invade Toto if Grease loses. So she's a sore loser. She's like, every single troop I have, every single robot under my command, go to Toto, and if shit pops off, just run in there and kill everybody. So there's a dirty angle going on here. Saya runs back to the pit, and she says, "Look, Banjo, I know you're pissed because Sento took your place, but Sento's going to use Hazard, and he's going to make Misora kill him. So do something." And Banjo's like, I'll do something. He comes. Sento uses Hazard.
Ew.
Fuck off.
It was a total tonal shift, like you said. This is totally different from the rest of the show. So, Banjo...
She runs in and she's like, "Oh my god, Misora's gonna have to kill your friend." And he goes, "Oh."
And he has to pull his pants up.
He makes
Well,
the face.
He's
Oh,
watching.
God, okay.
He's watching the fight on pay-per-view.
I'll come and help Sento. I just need to grab some tissues first real quick and change my pants.
I didn't think that far.
Ew.
So,
Excuse me.
so Sento uses Hazard, and it works. He wins, but as usual, he gets brain blasted by it. And he starts fighting everyone, and he goes to kill Grease. He's got Grease by the scruff of his neck. Banjo jumps in and beats Sento out of it. He just knocks some sense into him. So the whole fight ends. Everything winds down, and Hokuto is like, okay, Hokuto mom is like, alright, fuck this. Just invade the whole country. Invade Toto. And at that moment, Sato, the guy who you didn't know anything about, pops into Hokuto mom's office and says, "Oh, look, all your robots are on the border of Toto, so I'll just hold you hostage and take over your whole country now. Cool, thanks." And it turns out like a Cobra Man, fucking
Cobra Man.
Stalk, Bloodstalk, was in on it the whole time. This is all part of his master plan that makes no sense. And maybe will make sense at the end of the show.
He's like a schoolyard bully. Like, when it seems like he's losing, he's just like, actually, no,
Oh,
I had it. That was actually part of my plan.
He just has a master plan. I don't think
His
he's-
master plan is simple, guys. He wants to open Pandora's box, and he doesn't give a fuck how it happens. And everything that happens is part of his plan, technically, because it leads to opening Pandora's box.
Eventually. I feel like there are faster ways to do that, especially that time when he had every bottle in a box and just threw them at Sento instead of murdering him and taking his bottles.
He wanted
loves
him to
them.
grow.
He wants him to grow because he's the chosen one. I thought this episode
This is not Ghost. There is no chosen one.
I thought episode 22 was good, really good. I liked the idea of making the whole episode center on one fight that stretches throughout the whole episode, which it wasn't executed perfectly. Like I said, this episode, it's really flashback heavy to like pad the fight out and make it last 20 minutes.
At the very
it's a
least,
cool
they didn't
idea.
split the fight between 2 episodes. Or between, like, 6 episodes.
Yeah, thank God. But
Looking
it's
at
a
you,
cool,
DBZ.
It's a cool idea to do.
Sento had to charge the spirit bomb.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
Sento
Frieza
had to
left.
charge the spirit bomb, so Miss Sora had to keep Frieza busy.
Yeah.
But I liked that concept, and I liked the action in this episode. All the combos that get used, and the flashing, colorful lights. They kept me entertained. So
They sold
Bon-
plenty of toys.
yeah.
Sawa apparently has the ability to teleport from a
Yeah, she runs back to the pit.
skyscraper to the
Yeah.
pit.
She just
She-
puts 2 fingers to her forehead and goes, whoop!
Oh, yeah.
She's there and back in like 5 minutes. She's a Speedy Gonzalez.
And then Banjo pretty much just teleports up there.
It's
But
true.
whatever, gotta
It's-
move the story along, whatever.
Yeah.
I
I'll
found
forgive
one part of this episode very interesting.
What's that?
And it was part of last episode as well, I guess. Shoichi is still Sento's mentor.
Yeah.
Like, he's the villain, but he's also his mentor. He's the one who trains him to use all those different forms.
Sento still goes to him. Yeah, it's
yeah.
Yeah. He's still the sage mentor. I find that endlessly interesting.
It's a very-
Usually when the mentor turns out to be a bad guy, that's it for the mentor relationship. He's now a villain, and you gotta get revenge.
There's no respect. There's no, asking for help. It's like, look at what you've done. I can't trust you anymore. Fuck you too, Dad.
I guess
But
if
Sento
Soichi
keeps
keeps
going
on
to him.
calling him, yeah. Whatever.
It's
Got
a more
him on speed dial
multifaceted.
1.
Yeah, it's a multifaceted relationship.
It's very interesting to me.
Facebook, it's
The episode
complicated.
itself. The episode itself, my only big problem is why the fuck did they set it in that location?
Because it's
Because
cool.
it was cheap.
It's CG. They had to CG the city in the background.
Yeah, they
So-
CG'd the Great Wall behind them, which looked super
Yeah,
cool.
But like, they're not really on a roof. Is the thing. Like, there's CG around the little tiny platform to make it look like they're on a roof.
Mm-hmm.
At least the CG's gotten better.
Yeah.
See, if it was the same sort of setup, but the arena was the size of like a helipad, that would make a
Yes.
little more sense. But it's
Look
like,
at the Cell games.
yeah, but here's this like 10 by 10 foot square.
I
Have
like-
a kung fu battle.
I like the intimacy of the space because it means you have to be super careful, and it's also really easy to just take out your opponent. I thought it was different. I liked it.
In theory, that's correct. If they would have treated it like they had to be more intimate, or they could have fallen or anything, that would have been great. But they don't.
I was
they have a
expecting
regular
it to.
fight, and instead of showing the regular space that they're in when they're fighting, whenever the camera focuses on one of them, the space becomes gigantic behind them. Like, the space behind them becomes the entire arena. Like, they're standing in the top right corner when the camera's in front of them.
Yeah.
It's like the rival school stages. They're just endless
Yes.
rooftop.
It's an interesting little camera trick.
Also, Banjo, he conquers the dead zone.
He conquers
yes.
the anger.
Yeah, he does.
The quote dead zone.
I feel like the like increased testosterone from using dragon jelly is not like I said on Twitter, like I love how Hazard is like, oh, you lose your mind and it's like still a plot point and they haven't forgotten about it. I feel like the whole like getting pissed off when you use dragon jelly was a little sidelined and never really mattered much.
Well, only Banjo got over it. Grease still has it, but they don't mention it anymore.
Yeah, like it's just like there's something more important now, so fuck this.
Nobody gives a fuck about secondary riders.
No, they can die.
Which is a
At least
shame
the
because I
writer
still
really
like
make it
Banjo.
Yeah, I think I like Banjo a little bit more than Sento. I'm not sure. I like them both a lot.
Banjo's funnier for sure.
They're both great characters.
I like all
They're
the
both very good
characters.
characters.
I'm even
Yeah.
liking Grease more and more. I didn't expect him to stick
Yeah.
around. I was expecting him to die in this episode.
Oh.
And, like, thinking about the consequences of that, and that sort of putting a neat little bow on Hokuto's involvement in everything. But he didn't, and from the later episodes, I'm okay with that.
I'm gonna guesstimate that by the end of the show, there's going to be one representative rider from each location on the team, so that like Japan can be unified at the end by them defeating Nanba Heavy Industries.
So,
I don't even think Nanba Heavy Industries is going to be like. I'm pretty sure they're still going with that. Like, I'm seeing some space movie happen here pretty soon.
Space movie.
Here's what I think is going to happen, right? So, Stock is with fucking Sato. Stock is going to shoot the Sato president in the back of the head. Then Stock is going to be with Nanba Heavy Industries. Then Stock is going to shoot the Nanba Heavy Industries president in the back of the head. Then Stock is going to shoot, I don't know, himself.
He's going to shoot the Martian Manhunter in the back
Martian
of the head when they get to Mars.
In the back of the head and Mars, yeah.
Marvin Martian.
Given his track record, why would anyone ever trust him to be on this, their team?
Like, that's the thing is, like, it's a succession of people who think they're the one that he's actually on the team with.
Yeah.
But you think the third person in that would be like, fool me twice, right?
Sato guy is sitting here in the end like, yeah, this is his plan, is to help me all along. I understand now.
It's because I'm the most handsome.
I mean, he is the most handsome.
Oh.
Out of the three leaders, for sure.
Yeah, I guess.
It's Old Man or, like, I don't know.
Hokuto Mom's looking pretty good for her age.
Old Man's not that bad either.
Old Man's got a dignity to him.
Yeah.
He
looks very he looks very respectable.
Look, let's agree on this. If any of them were ugly, they would have died by now.
It's true. That is true.
So, episode 23, let's move right along.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
So, Grease kind of, they step down from the platform, and Grease says, look, I'm sorry I was such a dick, since now my country kind of doesn't exist anymore. My name's Sawatari Kazumi, and he tries to buy a picture with Mitan, and it turns out that the currency in this setting is dollarks.
What's weird about that? What's weird about dollarks?
It's like the country broke into three, and they're like, how can we complicate this as much as possible? Let's just throw out the yen, and we'll bring in this fake, ridiculous currency called dollarks.
Well, I mean, I'm pretty sure that Sato has, like, Zenny or some shit.
That would make it even worse.
If each location has their own money type?
That's like
I'm
a
certain
weird
they
conversion.
do, because there's 3 different governments, different conversion types. I'm sure they have, like, fluctuations in currency, and you have, like an entire industry.
50 zenny is like 39.5 dollarks.
Man, whatever happened to the good old days? Just trading livestock.
I legitimately thought you said trading wives.
Well, that is
Kamen Rider
Japan's
wife
history.
swap.
That's simpler. So yeah, dollarks is the currency.
Look, if you want a photo with Mitan, you trade your wife to get the photo. That's how it works.
It's that simple. So the Sato guy goes on TV, as everyone does in this show, and he says, "Look, I'm Sato Man, and I now control Hokuto, and I'll give you now a demonstration of my military prowess." And he plays a video of a bunch of robots threatening farmers with guns. And
It's the farm. It's what Grease's farm, right?
yeah, but I like that. Like, oh look, here's how strong my military is. Here we are, strong arming a bunch of peasants. And then
Hey, that's how a
Kiba,
lot of militaries in history showed their might.
You know,
Kiba
out
runs
there,
in.
even the farmers' mums got guns.
Kiba runs
Like,
in. He's
Great
like,
Britain did a lot of that.
yeah,
is all I'm saying.
absolutely. Kiba runs in. He's like, "You fucking terrorize my farmers," and he gets rocked by the Funky Boys, the Remote Man and the Engine Man.
Funky Bunch?
Funky bunch.
Yeah, the Funky Bunch. And when
Marky Mark and the Funky Bunch is in this
Yeah,
episode.
there you go.
this was the most jarring thing in this batch of episodes, where they're like, hey, it's those guys. They're using the same system as that character from the movie used. And I was like, what? Wait.
Yeah, I was a little taken out by that, too. I was
Huh?
like, what the fuck?
Kaiser system or something. I don't know.
It's, the Kaiser system it's called.
Yeah,
Kaiser
it's
roll.
like
It's just like in
remote
X-Aid
and
when he's like...
gear?
What?
Remote and gear?
It's
I think
remote
it's
and
Engine?
Engine. Okay.
Fucking, it's like in X-Aid when he's like, yeah, I was operated on by Dr. Pac-Man when I was a kid. Anyways, let's move on and not explore that at all in the movie.
Yeah. Also, remote and engine both suck.
Oh, I think they look cool.
The
They
suits
look
are
like
okay,
Kinects.
You look like
I don't
Kinects,
know.
you shit.
They look like shitty Kinects. They look like the knockoff Kinects that you get when your family can't afford real Kinects like mine had to.
Do you...
Canucks.
Do you... Canucks is the Canadian version. Do you have an issue with
Got
You have a fucking issue with Kinects, Jeff?
Kinects are okay. I just don't think it looks good in the Kamen Rider design.
I like the engine and the remote, the funky voice.
Well, you have terrible taste. This has been established.
No.
I don't like them or hate them. They just look like
They're okay. They look
Mood
kind of like
suits.
Roid Mudes.
They do look a little like Roy Mudes, yeah.
A little bit, yeah. I just think they're, like, superfluous. They're there to, like, show that our heroes aren't completely fucking incapable of fighting, I guess.
Yeah.
I mean,
And then
immediately
Worf.
they are
New
kind
guy shows up and beats the fuck out of them.
they're Worf.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're Worf.
So they absolutely rock Kiba's shit, and Kiba gets kidnapped and chained up, and Grease and Akaba and the gang, they all go to rescue Kiba, and Grease and Akaba actually go in, and Sento and Banjo are like, fuck that, he's not our friend, we'll just wait at the door for you.
It would be an act of war to go into the other one, and it's not like we've already been at war.
Did you not see
Or
the
anything.
secret scene when they talk about how much they hate Kiba and don't want to rescue him and decide to just
I
hang
didn't.
out?
That was a DVD presento. I
Yeah.
didn't get that.
It was really out of character, so they cut it.
That was in
So
the
they waited-
novels.
Yeah, they wait at the door, and they wait at like the sky road that leads into the country, and the rescue operation gets totally fucked up by the remote control boys. They absolutely kill the shit out of Kiba, and the fucking Grease and Akaba barely make it back, and they're chased back by the remote control boys, and they're also chased by fucking a crocodile man, Kamen Rider Rogue, to make matters worse, who turns out to be Gentoku, who absolutely kicks everyone's ass. They're like,
He
oh,
comes back as, like,
the edgiest
Punish
edge
Kick
Snake.
Hopper. He comes back as Kick Hopper. He's,
Yeah,
like, dressed in all black and depressed and talking about his journey through hell.
I came back from hell. I want you to go through the same hell as me.
And
And
he's
Yeah,
doing
he's
that
Kick-Hopper.
badass thing where he wears a coat except he doesn't actually put it on.
yeah, I love
He
that
just
shit.
drapes it.
He comes in and he's like, here's the story. Okay, I went to Nanba, and they were like, yeah, you can be a rider, but you got to be our slave and like do whatever we say. And he's like, yeah, that's fine. Like that's a little hurts my pride, but that's fine. What else do I have to do to be a rider? And they're like, we're gonna chain you up and just beat you up and just deprive you of food and not feed you and give you water and shit. We're also gonna beat you. And we're gonna hit you.
Utsumi's like fucking beg before me.
He's gotta
He's
like bow down and kiss his
"Fine."
goddamn shoes.
Yeah. I like the bit
Fine.
when he finally decides to beg and he's like screaming like his whole body is trying to stop him from doing it. And he's like, ah, like on the ground.
That was a little over dramatic.
Ah, fuck!
It was
Like
a
he's
little
straining.
over dramatic, but he's a person that seems to thrive on his sense of pride and his
He's
honor.
got pride up the ass.
Not anymore.
Not
They
anymore.
beat it out of him.
Now he's got someone else's pride up his ass.
Now he's got a broken crocodile bottle. So he's the strongest rider ever in history.
He's stronger than stronger.
He's strong. You take that back. He's stronger than everyone else. He kicks everyone's asses, and they all run away because they can't win.
No.
He does
They
a really
all-
cool kick.
He kicks ass and he kicks him,
Chompy
and
kick.
his kick bites you. So what do you guys? I added a little bit of episode 24 in there because I like Gentoku's backstory so much. What do you guys think about episode 23?
Compared to
was-
the last two, this one was,
It was
it was
okay.
like coming down.
Yeah.
Yeah. not every
But,
episode can be super high energy.
But it was still alright. I mean, what's his name? Kiba?
Kiba.
His death didn't have the same feels as...
That's what I was going to say.
Well-
It kind of just felt like, oh, yeah, he's dead, whatever.
As
It
soon as
became
his...
pretty obvious that they're going to kill all of them off.
Yeah.
When he
as-
died, I was like, they're just getting rid of him.
One at a time.
I was trying to say that, and then you said it, so there.
Okay.
Lines and all that.
But yeah, it was a serviceable episode. Even like the episodes in Build that aren't like super amazing still move the story forward at a good pace and don't really have a lot of fat around the edges. They address all of the issues and introduce new problems and then solve other ones, and then they just move forward. And you're like, wow, the episode's already over, and that's pretty much every episode.
Yeah. Keeps a good pace.
I don't really know how I feel about the Engine Gear brothers.
Well, I imagine they're going to die very soon. So
They are probably going to die soon, but story-wise, they're pretty, unimportant.
Yeah.
They could not be in it, and there'd be nothing different.
They have
It would just... They
no
would have
character,
to introduce...
they're just kind of there, yeah.
Yeah.
They're
They could have just had 2 smashes.
they're
That's
there
pretty much
to,
all they are.
Yeah, they want to sell a couple toys and show some new villains that are stronger than Banjo.
I'm sure there'll be some sort of plot device later.
Yeah.
What did you guys think of Kamen Rider Rogue's design?
I like it.
I like everything except for like the cartoon Mickey Mouse gloves.
I like the white gloves.
He's
actually.
he's got just like white gloves. It's kind of weird.
I love his design. It reminds me so much of a design that would have been in Kabuto, especially because the transformation with the
Chompy.
the chompers,
Yeah.
the crocodile
It
jaws
looks
chomping
like
out of his face.
looks like
It's very
Gattack, yeah.
He's just got a really cool design, and I feel like they do the blank face that becomes the face thing way better than Ghost did.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
The eyes are super cool on that suit.
They are.
No, the suit's really cool. I just think the transformation noise is a little too goofy for that suit. It's like, man, this
The
suit is really
scream.
cool, and then you're...
That's my
and you're
favorite
like,
part.
It's because it's scary.
That's my
Come on,
favorite
he's
part of the whole
super scary.
transformation.
I also like that he has a fragile sticker slapped on the back of his helmet.
Oh yeah.
Handle with care.
I like that instead of squeezing out the gel, it's like here's a beaker and we're just gonna fucking smash it. And that's how the little animation goes. Just bite it up. It's a nifty visual.
Yeah, it's cool. It
It's
suits
so
it suits
it's
the
so
character.
strange.
Yeah.
It's so strange that he's a crocodile. Like, out of all of the things that you could make a rider's main thing, like, our boy Banjo is a dragon.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
He's
Sento's
a
a rabbit.
crocodile.
Not
Sento's
always.
a rabbit and a tank.
Sento's many things.
Yeah, why couldn't they just stay with the bat motif? I don't know.
I
Probably
like that he's
because
a
someone
crocodile,
came up
though. I
with
think
the
it's
idea
really
for the helmet with like the jaws closing, and like, oh, we got to use that. It's too cool.
probably. I like the crocodile. I think it's super original.
Yeah, there's not a lot of croc riders. In fact, I can't think of a
The
single
only
other one.
the only croc related tokusatsu thing I can think of is
Juo the
one
World.
part in Juoju.
Yeah.
One part of Juo the World.
I think in a movie, Oz has a crocodile medal for his legs, and he kind of does a chompy kick.
Yeah, I get
Except
some
it's
of those.
orange instead of purple.
Oh, it was part of the orange medals.
Yeah.
Mm.
That's cool. But yeah, I like
Overall, it was a good episode.
the
Though.
yeah, I like the broken glass motif. I like the flying special effects, which are usually better than I would. They're not good, but they're better than I would expect out of Kamen Rider consistently. So
Yes.
I wasn't really sure what they were going to do with Sento, because it's like, oh yeah, here he is in Hazard Trigger, and he still gets his ass beat. It's like, really? Like, I really don't want them to move on from Black Hazard too soon, because I love that suit. I love
they're moving
just
on.
pure black suits with like
They are going to move on,
Details.
sadly.
Black
just-
Hazard is an incredibly sexy suit, but they're moving on
Yes.
from it.
I love that suit. What they could do instead of move on from it is hazard level matters a lot more than the power of your form.
Mm.
mm-hmm.
they could raise Sento's base hazard level. Like, once he gains control of the suit, his hazard level, like, skyrockets, and then he can fight against
the big
Rogue.
boys.
He can fight with the big boys.
When he's
And
just
I-
rabbit
boys.
tanking it.
I loved the transformation change of like being like smelted in like an iron. What's the word I'm looking for?
Forge.
Like a forge kind of
A,
thing.
a panini press.
A panini press.
Panini press.
They slam them together in a panini press, and then it goes
He's like got a
yummy.
waffle.
And I loved that. I loved the change.
He's got a waffle maker he transforms.
There you go.
You gotta
yeah.
flip it halfway through.
I like that. I don't know if he does it in this episode, but I like that he can use different bottles and it just changes the eyes.
Mm-hmm.
It just smacks the new eyes on him.
That is really cool.
Just the whole suit is so fucking nice. It's slick
It's
suit.
got a very nice simplicity to it as well.
Yeah.
It has a great silhouette too, because the two pieces that come up off the top of the head make it look like it has horns. in
Yeah.
the silhouette.
The things on his
It's really
shoulders,
cool.
like the spikiness on his shoulders, really makes him look like some kind of demon.
Looks way better than Pepsi form.
Yeah, I'll
yeah.
say that.
I
Yeah.
like Pepsi
Yes.
form, but yeah.
I like
Simple
sparkling,
design.
but this is better.
Simple design, Jeff.
Flies just fine. Why don't we move on to the next episode?
Sure. So, in episode 24, Gentoku recounts his backstory of how he got thrown into a cell and chained up and beaten up, and he got to be a writer. After
That's
that, we
a
learn...
side movie too, right? Like it's going to be a thing.
I'm sure.
Yeah.
After that, we learn that everyone's at the Prime Minister's office, and they're like, we gotta move the box. We gotta move Pandora's box. And it cuts back to Sato, and it turns out that Sato has a bug. They got a mole in the operation. They're like, yes, our mole will know. No one will suspect him because he's not a named character, so he'll learn all the shit and tell us. So Sento fucking goes back to the grave of Aoba. He puts more flowers there, and Soichi appears, and he's like, "Oh, you're praying, you fucking what, loser?" And he kicks his ass and takes some of his bottles back. Yeah. Look at that. Oh, he misses his friends. Oh. He beats the shit out of Sento and takes some bottles back, but Grease appears and chases him off. And Grease is like, you know what? I just did you a solid, so I'm moving into the cafe so I can live with Mitan. I don't want to sleep in barber chairs anymore.
I want to live with Mitan and be super creepy and sexual at her at all times.
Well, yeah, he moves in with a body pillow.
Oh, God. They don't even draw that much attention to that either, is the weirdest part.
That's just fan culture, dude. He's like, yo, where do I sleep? And they're like, what the fuck? Like, we already have like 6 people living in this cafe. You can't just come in here. So I guess
But he does.
He's officially the gang now. And here's how you know that Akaba dies. He's not there moving in with them. So
That's a good point.
yeah. So Sento's in the basement, and he's like, God damn, we've been fighting for so long, and things just keep getting worse, and people keep dying, and everyone's invading everyone, and how are we going to do it? And Mitan's like, don't worry, Sento, everything's going to be okay. And then she faints, and they put her to bed, and Sato decides to use this opportunity to invade the PM's office, and the riders go fight them, and they have a little fight, and everyone flies to the skywall, except for Banjo, who runs there. And they're fighting in front of the skywall, in front of the big CGI skywall. And Mitan appears. And she's all, like, glassed up. Her eyes are all glassy. And
She's got green eyes. They're glowing.
glowing green eyes. And she uses... Oh, and she doesn't do anything yet. She just appears and has green eyes. Everyone's like, what the fuck is Mitan doing? This episode felt... This was the episode where I was watching and I was like, is Build going a little downhill? Like, it's not bad, but... It's definitely nothing compared to the first episodes this month. There's not as much going on.
Expectations are high.
Yeah.
This is like exposition the episode.
Yeah.
Well, there's a
It's
lot.
just a whole lot of information being thrown at you, but not a whole lot happens.
Yeah, exactly.
They go over a lot of stuff, and you know, it's got ups and downs and ups and downs. I wouldn't say it was a bad episode. I don't think any of them have been bad yet.
No, yeah.
It's just that they have more that they have to discuss and explain. At least they cut out like the week where Sento was just playing with, you know, what was it, 20 new bottles. And they just put that in like a YouTube series. Like, all right, this isn't really totally relevant. Let's just skip to the fight.
Yeah. Makes a funny
Okay with
series,
that.
though.
I mean, the fight's interesting. It's a fun, well choreographed fight.
Yeah.
It didn't feel like it had all that much consequence because everybody's just getting their shit rocked. There's no chance our heroes are doomed, so of course something's going to show up to stop him from killing them.
Mm-hmm.
I was surprised that it was Misora, though. I guess I shouldn't have been, since they've been hinting that she's got weird powers and something's up with her since, like, episode 10?
Yeah.
Episode 5,
Since
maybe?
episode
And no
1.
one else is really going to come bail them out at this point.
Yeah.
No. There's not another rider to jump in and save the day.
I like that it's Mitan, because the whole, like, oh, you're possessed and your brain's fucked and you have a mysterious power reminded me of Kanzaki Yui at the end of Ryuki.
Oh,
When
great.
she figures out she's got the power. I got that vibe, and if anything reminds me of Ryuki, then it goes up by 1 point in my book. So,
Well,
just keep.
You have the biggest boner for Ryuki.
It's not my fault. It's a good show.
It is good, but it's not that good.
It is that good.
Something with supporting character women / girls that have magical powers.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I would say it's just kind of a trope at this point. Like, I remember it from Wizard, even.
Mana
Yeah.
from Agito.
Mana.
Yeah,
from
Mana.
Agito.
Yeah.
I would say that I'm glad they're using it in a way that it can be useful to the rest of the characters, and it's not just a thing that happens, so that the female, supporting character has something to do other than just tell them, be careful. And
The next episode.
I'm glad you're
looks
okay.
Like
Love
the next
and
episode looks like it's
peace.
gonna be. Go ahead.
Yeah.
No, I was just saying love and peace.
Uh,
Because that's what she yelled. I don't know.
Oh yeah,
the next episode shows that it is going to be one of those things that just happens every now and then, so the character has something to do.
Yeah, she can't control
Like,
it.
she tries to help and just gets in the way and causes everybody to almost die.
She's the
Sick.
Deus Ex Machina.
That's Japanese media for you, though. If it's not made with girls in mind, then the girls are just gonna get like shit all over.
Literally, in some cases.
Ugh.
Whoa!
Whoa, hey,
Ugh.
we were all thinking it.
no,
No.
No, only you were.
Okay, just I was thinking it, but
Let's take a look at that search history. On
you stay the fuck away from my computer.
it's kind of like how I really was hoping. Oh god, what's the name of the supporting female in Drive, Max? What's her name?
Kiriko.
Kiriko. Okay, thank you,
Kiriko.
thank you, Jeff. It's sort of like how Kiriko seemed like she was going to be able to do more and be more helpful. Like, oh yeah, here's these fucking
The boots.
explodey shoes that you can
Yeah.
kick people, and they have some sort of ability that you have, and because you can't be in a rider suit because you tried that before and got your ass kicked.
The belt sensed she had a vagina, Tomas.
Built-in
How can a
sensors.
character be a rider if they have a vagina?
Well, there was Peach. There was Peach energy in Gaim.
How'd that turn out for her?
It's because she
Not
had a great
well.
ass. That's why.
It did not turn out
Ayo.
well.
That's the downside to being a female rider. If you finally do crack that glass ceiling, your days are fucking numbered.
Yeah. Well, I mean, in X-Aid, they usurped that a bit. It was even like, oh yeah, she's actually been going around kicking ass after she figured out how to actually use the belt. And she's the only person qualified to fight the final boss and has to, like, go there and confront them.
I wish they would have done that.
I mean, they only halfway did it, because she gets there and then,
She gets murked.
she gets murked.
She gets there and the one guy,
The one guy that's
Snipe.
all... Snipe.
Tyga.
Snipe.
Snipe shows up and he's like, "Watch out, woman! I'll take care of this guy with my dick."
You can't just beat this guy
And
by
he does.
making sandwiches. You need to fight, so it's time for a man to step in.
It was kind of fucked up because I hated her character through most of the show because it
Oh,
never
fuck
felt like she
Poppy.
had anything to do. And
Yeah.
then when they were giving her something to do, they took it away from her. And it's like, okay, so now I don't care about the character again.
Also,
Pretty much.
Poppy.
And
Oh,
then there was
Poppy.
and then with Poppy, they made her a writer. And then it's like, oh well, she only did that because she was like being mind controlled. So now she's just
She-
a good guy again and does nothing.
not only was she a rider, but her base form was more powerful than everybody's mid-season upgrades.
It was stronger than Kiwami arms.
Oh my god. It's been so long since X8, I thought Nico was Poppy. I merged them into one character in my head. I thought you were talking about Poppy that whole time, and then you mentioned Poppy. I was like, wait.
Who's Nico?
No, we were talking about Nico.
Yeah, Nico. I remember
Spencer's
now.
Gifts.
Spencer's Gifts,
yeah. I merged them into one character in my head. Okay, so...
It's just been a blur.
Yeah, episode 24 is Deece.
It's aight.
It's aight.
Yeah.
In episode 25, Mitan decides to use her green eyes to do some good. She opens a hole in the sky wall, and she just flings the Sato riders through, and it looks like they fly into a white light that looks like it would kill them, but I'm sure they just land on the other side and they're fine.
She parts the red wall, and...
Biblical reference.
Yep. Oh no.
This
Stop.
show's deep. Zack Snyder.
No.
Oh no.
Just like Evangelion.
Just like Man of Steel. So,
It's like,
Fuck
man,
off. Never mention Man of Steel in my fucking presence.
I watched Batman v Superman this month. Oh boy.
Why?
It's something else.
Why did you do that?
I don't know. I still don't know.
He had to perform the autopsy.
Does it turn out that Superman bleeds in that movie?
I don't think he does, actually. No, he gets stabbed in the end. Yeah, he bleeds. Yeah.
Yeah, he dies.
He dies.
Spoilers.
Yeah. It's like they wrote a script.
Don't watch it.
And then someone dropped it on the ground and had to rearrange it all. That's Batman v Superman. It's such a mess. It's great.
And yet there are
Definitely
so
watch
many
it.
people that defend it fervently. Like, no, you just watch it like 10 times. It's great.
You just didn't understand it. Yeah, I didn't
I have
understand
an Instagram, and I clicked on a picture that was making fun of Henry Cavill,
Cavill.
having the mustache CG'd.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yep.
And ever since then, the way Instagram's algorithm works, I see every post by any DC fanboy that they ever make now.
Good job.
And they are so mad at Joss Whedon. They
bet.
fucking hate that guy.
I bet.
I love Joe
Because he
Sweden.
ruined Zack Snyder's masterpiece.
His perfect vision.
Joe Sweden is a great man.
Joe Sweden.
Good on Henry Cavill for not shaving the mustache. Good on the studio for not allowing him to, because that shit is hilarious.
It is actually really funny.
Because if you're gonna bet your career on Justice League or any other movie, probably pick the latter. Anyways, we got off topic. So she flings everyone through the sky wall. Sento goes to Soichi. He says, "Look, I hate to do this, but I gotta call my old master Soichi to figure out what the hell's going on with his daughter." So Soichi says, "Yeah, that bangle, I took it back. You know, that bracelet that she has the powers. That's a souvenir from Mars. I took it back on Mars and just slapped it on my daughter because who gives a
And
shit?"
Our hero does not react to this whatsoever.
Like
He's
usual,
like, yeah,
he's just like,
yeah, okay.
yeah, okay,
This
yeah,
is-
sure.
Okay, it's from Mars.
Yeah.
Go on.
And he also says, also Nanba Heavy Industries has been kidnapping children for like a decade and brainwashing them to be slaves to Nanba.
And he's like, oh, so one of them might be a spy and not... Oh my god, that's horrific!
That's like a war crime, I
Fucking
think.
child
What can I do to save
trafficking?
them?
the les enfants
Terribles. Instead, Sento's first thought is, how do I beat the shit out of these brainwashed children? How do I destroy them? So, in another, what probably is my favorite moment in the whole series, Sento hooks a bunch of computers up to Mitan, and says, hey, there's footage here of an ancient alien civilization on Mars getting destroyed. Do you think it has something to do with the bangle and the future? He doesn't say, holy shit, like aliens. Aliens are real, and there's video evidence. He's just like,
exactly. There is video evidence of there being an alien civilization on Mars. This is the greatest scientific achievement of mankind, this footage.
Like, we just changed everything.
And
but
instead
do you
he's
think it has
like,
something
hey,
to
yeah,
do
that
stone
with
face,
civilization on
just like-
Mars. Yeah, here's that. Here's them dying. Do you think we might die?
He posits that it's like, oh, it's a sign from the box. Pandora's box is trying to warn us. The bangle is trying to warn us that Pandora's
Also,
box is going to blow us all up.
It's interesting to note that Misora then says, Oh, I see that every single time I've purified a bottle. I guess I didn't feel the need to tell anybody.
You never mentioned that. You never told anybody.
I always see proof of Mars existing, proof of Martians existing, and them all dying every time I purify a bottle.
And I'm like, I don't want that to happen, and then they purify.
I figure there was just nothing. It was probably nothing.
It didn't seem important enough to mention.
Yeah,
so.
I mean, you guys seem not to care, so... I mean, and Sento doesn't care! He doesn't give a shit.
It's between her and her psychiatrist.
That's
She's
doctor-patient
gonna need
confidentiality.
one. Her father fucking abandoned her, like, not long ago.
All I can think about is when they learn in Gaim that there was a civilization in Helheim, and it's like a bone-shattering, like, holy fuck! Like, the show...
What a spoiler, by the way.
Oh,
maybe you should bleep that out.
Okay. When they learn in Gaim that something happened, and they're like, oh my god, this episode no one cares.
Good one.
That's like covering your ass with a see-through sheet.
So no one gives a shit. They go around and they're like, look, okay, we gotta move the box because we don't know who knows where it is, so we gotta shuffle it around and move it. So they move it. Sato attacks where they think the box is, and it turns out they told each team different information to find out where the leak was. And they were like, the leak is this nameless character who you don't know, you never even thought about before. And the guy just kills himself on the
I
spot.
love
The leak
the
is-
finger snap.
Yeah.
He's like, the leak is the only other guy in the room right now.
Nameless jerk.
Prime Minister Aide, Frank Bob. And Jeff Frank Bob is like...
It's his Christian name.
More biblical references.
I just think he's the most normal guy, the most normal extra, and he's like, "Fuck, I've been caught," and he just kills himself right on the spot with a bottle.
He jerks a bottle on himself. Yep.
He jerks himself off with a bottle, and when he finds this out, he's like, "Well, who cares? Because Crocodile Man knows where the real box location is, and we, as a country." Knew where the box location was, but we still sent guys to the fake location anyways, even though we knew to tell Rogue where the real location was.
And also, we knew where the real location was, but I still reported the fake location to
what's that
frame
about?
myself so that I could then kill myself in front of you.
This is all part of Stock's master plan.
It's a bit... they didn't really think that all the way through.
Because, no, he shakes the bottle on himself, right? And then the bottle drops on the floor, and no one has it, so then Stock can get it. It's his plan. No one will pick it up.
Maybe he shook the invisibility bottle on himself and then just walked out.
And
How do you
just
kill
like
yourself with a bottle?
you shake
The
it.
guy
on
does it
yourself.
earlier.
I know,
OD
but how did
bottle.
he do it?
You OD on the
Yeah.
gas.
OD on
So
the
you
gas.
hotbox yourself and
You
just
Yeah.
die?
And just like
strong.
before, for some reason, when someone dies normally, it's the whole show changes. But when someone dies by shaking a bottle on themselves, no one even blinks. Everyone's just
No.
like, okay. He wasn't a
deserved
named
that.
character, so...
It's like a corporate structure, right? Even in the government. Like, his boss does not give a fuck that he's dead.
He's like, this is bad. I gotta start asking for some resumes to find a replacement. That's gonna be a real bother.
You're gonna have to go to fucking monster.com and put a new ad in.
He leaves
hate
a note
that
for the
position.
janitor to sweep up the dust.
Vacuum it up in a
Nanbo
little Dyson.
temp agency.
Put his remains in the garbage.
Yeah.
Put all the dust away.
No, you put it in the biohazardous waste bin that they
Oh, of
have
course.
laying around.
Just throw it in a dumpster.
Put it in the dumpster out back. Just tie it in a bag. Double bag it.
Double bag.
That'll save the environment. Double bag.
Keeps the raccoons from getting to it.
Yeah, exactly.
So, keep the
So,
raccoon dogs from getting to it because it's Japan.
of
Oh,
course,
right,
yeah.
right.
So keeps the tanukis out of it. So they go. The box is being guarded by just Akaba. They left him there to die.
Good job, everybody.
Yeah, they left Akaba there to die, the weakest man. And Rogue appears, and he starts fighting Akaba, and everyone arrives just in time to watch Akaba get murdered. And Akaba's like, "Oh shit!"
They ripped
I
a
was...
piece of his suit off.
Yeah, he rips off a piece of the castle suit, Akiba's there like, fuck, I lasted the longest out of the trio. I win, and then he fades away. And Sento fights Rogue. He uses Hazard, but he loses his mind. Rogue takes the opportunity to grab the box and leave, and Sento starts choking Misora.
Well, first off, he beats the fuck out of Grease.
Yeah, he kicks everyone's ass that could possibly defend Misora. And then he starts choking Misora, and Misora like looks at him real hard with the bangle. The bangle glows, and the tank half of his eye turns to a second rabbit. And then the episode ends.
I'm not gonna finish that. It's.
What did you guys think of 25?
It was all right. I liked it. There's another
sandbag
character death in it that felt like it didn't really matter.
Yeah,
but
it's like you can tell who everybody's favorite. You can tell who everybody's favorite of the trio was, right? Like, Alba dies and everybody fucking, like, puts flowers on his grave and cries about it and shit. And then Kiba and Akiba die and they're just like, I guess I'm angry now.
It feels like the writers are cleaning when Kiba and Akiba die. Where they're like,
cleaning?
Get some characters out of here. There's too many. These guys are...
Spring cleaning.
Yeah,
at least
we can't
they're
afford
cleaning.
Movie cleaning.
President's Day sale at at the furniture store.
We're getting rid of all these hard smashes. 50% off.
Every hard smash must go!
Every hard smash must die.
What can I do to get you in a hard smash today?
It feels... You're right, though. Kiba and Akiba's death feel cheap compared to Aoba, which is so played up. These ones were really, like, quick and economic.
The only way they could have been as impactful as Alba's is if they all died at the same time.
Yeah.
And that's simply because if you have a trio of characters that are all, circling around a primary character, and then one of them dies, well, then you set the precedent that you're able to kill off one of those characters. So you're probably just going to kill off those other characters if you don't want to take the time to develop them, which, because they're not a primary member of the supporting cast, why would you?
Also, they foreshadow the hell out of them dying anyway. They're like, if you get the shit beat out of you, you're just gonna die.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Enjoy this hazard trigger bullshit. Get in this box.
How frustrating is the rest of the series going to be for Grease? Like, he has the most reason to be angry and want revenge. But he is just a secondary rider, so he's just going to get the shit beat out of him from now until the end of the series.
I feel
that's
like
what
there's
happened
going to
to
be
Gills.
like... There might be a time where he's just going to be like, I got nothing to lose, so he just kind of like does something dumb and then dies himself.
I wouldn't mind if he
Probably true.
pulled the TN and just like made a big attack and then died.
Yep. He does the Neo...
Does the Neo Tri-Beam and then
Neo
dies.
Tri-Beam.
Tien doesn't die from that.
Doesn't he die doing it to sell?
No, he does not die from that.
I swear he died. Am I crazy?
I think he died in the Saiyan saga?
he died. Nappa killed him. He ripped his arm off and then blew him up.
Shit.
He did like a one-handed tri-beam, and then he's like, well, I'm dead.
Tien is so cool, and he gets such a bad shake.
Yeah. Poor guy.
We're humans. So, episode 25 has a big foreshadowing for the next upgrade that's coming up, and Max and I probably know what it is. Yeah.
I don't look at toy scans.
I don't keep up with toy scans.
See, I checked them out, and it's kind of cool, a little bulky. You'll see it.
I think it looks awesome.
I'm ambivalent about it, but I'll wait till I see it in motion.
Another split in decision.
Yeah.
What a waste Hazard was, though. It seemed like it was building towards him figuring out a way to control it with his big, smart brain.
Well, he is saying that in the episode preview.
I think the next episode is him gonna... The next upgrade is gonna be like, here's Hazard Trigger, but like refined into something that doesn't look anything like Hazard Trigger.
It's the building blocks to like...
That's fine.
A more complete thing. Because,
But I like Hazard Trigger because it was super maximum edge for him and was... Is there gonna
be another video of the devil scientist Katsuragi being like, also I made this upgrade?
There's
it's like fucking
the Katsuragi catalog.
It's like 3 terabytes of shit on that little USB that you gotta keep discovering.
This dude's like fucking Tupac. He gets murked off, and then he just fucking comes out with a new album every year anyway.
And then there's a hologram of him.
Yeah, there's hologram technology in Build. They could do it. They could bring a hologram Katsuragi.
Next thing you know, he's just gonna pull out the fucking airline catalog and just order a new upgrade from Katsuragi and
The
company.
Sky Mall.
The Sky Mall.
Skywall.
The Skywall.
Skywall catalog? Oh my god.
The best,
Everybody give him a standing ovation.
Yeah, good job.
the best part about this episode is at the next episode preview, they're like, oh, how did Rogue know where the real location of the box was? There's a traitor among us. And it shows everyone, and at the end is Sawa with the word traitor over her.
Remember when she was a traitor? You think she's the traitor again?
All I want is for her to be the fucking traitor 2 times in a row. I think that'd be so good.
This has to be like misdirection, right?
It could be, but
Could
you know,
just be
she
no
was
one.
like a Nanba dick sucker before.
Her dad worked at Nanba Heavy Industries, so
It was probably a bring your kid to work day.
I kind of have a slight suspicion that it's actually Sento.
Really?
Yeah.
What would his motivation be for that? Ending the war?
Maybe. Or... Yeah, maybe.
being best friends with Rogue.
I
course.
I
mentioned
don't
it.
know.
I mentioned it to a friend of ours earlier, a mutual friend of ours, friend of the show,
Eric?
and
Yeah.
I would think there's a small suspicion that they mentioned that all the Nanba children were brainwashed, and I'm thinking, well, couldn't hypnosis and like suggestive,
Sleeper agents.
sleeper agents, they go to sleep and they wake up and they're like sleepwalking and drinking milk and sending military secrets to Nanba.
Mm.
So that would be a possible way that Banjo is involved, because Banjo's too stupid to be like an actual sleeper cell.
Hey, what if it's actually Grease and he's just been fucking around this whole time?
I mean, that wouldn't make much sense, because like then the people that he's working for ended up killing his friends.
Maybe he didn't like him.
So before, was he just leaking information to himself?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was recording it in his journal and then reading it back to himself.
Look, I didn't say it was a good idea. I just said, what if?
It's probably, I bet, dollars to donuts that no one is the leak, and it's going to be
Probably
some
not.
ridiculous convoluted plan or something. That is the real reason.
If it's Sawa again, that would be actually pretty fun.
I will howl and piss myself. if it's Sawa.
you betrayed us, but here, why don't we just give you some more secrets, because you're actually on our side now. Oh no!
Oh no!
They just never learn their lesson, and like the final episode is them being like, we finally defeated Namba Heavy Industries. We found this new secret location for ourselves to work out of, and then like monsters show up and they're like, oh, Sawa!
Get in here, old buddy, old pal.
You done?
What was that the theme to?
Looney Tunes, the ending theme of Looney Tunes.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, sorry.
It's
That's
good.
fine.
So
That's fine.
build is good. It's building up to a new upgrade.
Building up.
Yeah. Shut up.
Go fuck yourself.
Shut your mouth.
Go fuck yourself.
I watched this month Kamen Rider Build raising the hazard level to 7 best matches, which was a weird experience.
Yeah,
I
it
don't
was
know why
okay.
they had. You probably know the character name. I don't know any of the characters' names.
By Kaiser. Or do you mean the other guy?
The other guy,
Utsumi, yeah.
Utsumi.
So it's like Sento is in his basement, literally coming when he's putting together the best matches. Like Tamaz knows what I'm talking about. He's got a panel and he's like testing all these. He's testing all these new bottles he's got, and he's like he puts 2 bottles in and he's like, oh, it's a best match, and he's putting one in and he's sliding
like,
it in really slowly, and his eyes are closed and he's like, oh, best match, and like it's so sensual.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
And Misora's just watching him.
And he fights. Utsumi appears and is like, I'll train you for some stupid reason, and you'll fight holograms. And they have a fight in an underground passageway. And Utsumi's like, use hazard. I'll just deal with it if you go crazy. And he does. He uses it. And he goes crazy. And Utsumi's plan is to just grab Hazard out of his belt. And all I was thinking is like, why didn't anyone else try that? Why didn't?
That's
why
what I
didn't
was
Banjo
wondering
try
after I
that?
watched that. It's like, oh, so fuck his name.
By Kaiser. Utsumi?
No,
Bai
not
Kaiser?
Utsumi. I'm thinking of
Gentoku?
Stalk.
Banjo? Stock?
Banjo.
Banjo
shows
Ryu.
up
How did you
in
forget
a sh-
Banjo?
Because there's so many names in my head right now, I can't remember them. When Banjo shows up for the cage match up in the sky, and he has to like beat him up, did no one just tell them like why didn't he just have someone there to do the same thing? Why did he have to build this thing that would kill him? And
Here's
then
my
give
question about this form in general.
Mm.
When a villain kicks this form with their super kick, it doesn't hurt it much. But if you just jump from the side and use your super kick, it knocks him out of the form instantaneously.
Yeah.
What the fuck is the difference?
The difference is you want him to not die. You just want him to stop attacking.
And that's
It's
the true
intention.
key. That's the true key to beating him.
He sets the phaser from kill to stun.
Yeah.
Okay. I understood that because it's a Star Trek reference.
The best part.
Now
by
I
far-
understand everything.
The best part by far of this.
Fart joke.
We're all fucking 12 years old.
The best part by far of the HPV is in the end when this dude appears in a suit, and Sento looks at him. He's like, "Oh shit, it's my old nemesis, Bai Kaiser." And I'm sitting there like, "Wait, what? Who? When?" And I think he's from Heisei Generation's Final. I want to say.
Oh, okay.
He's the
the
Bai
fuck is
Kaiser,
he?
and he's the originator of the Kaiser system that the Funky Boys use. But he just comes back in here, and I'm just expected to know who he is. Anyways, it was pretty good. It was pretty weird. I liked it.
It was a fun little thing to watch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See some best matches.
I didn't watch it.
And
watch
and I watched a hyper battle video as well.
Which one?
I have the physical copy of like the Kamen Rider Build and Grease Bear Kuma Telebi hyper battle video, and it was confusing and not all that great.
I imagine it's not subbed.
It is not subbed at all. No.
Yeah.
Probably why it was so confusing.
But apparently there is like a fourth Grease boy.
What?
Yeah, and he's like a total fucking goofball. And
Is he dead?
Does he die in the HPV? Please God.
No, I don't think he dies.
What?
He breaks
Does he
the
just
rules.
go home?
I think he's like a famous guy because Misora was like swooning or something.
Hmm.
Yeah, but he was like a total creepo.
Cool.
So does he just go home afterwards?
I guess so.
What the fuck?
He had to go help
He
his
has-
brother.
He has like the, delinquent Japanese schoolboy outfit on. Where,
Yeah.
he's got like the black jacket and all that stuff.
Yeah.
He has a white set of dog tags. Yeah, that's
Imagine
it.
if that shit happened to Kiba. Like he went through the hostage situation and he got beat up, and then he just decided he was kind of hurt and tired and had to go home, and then he was just out of the show. And that was the end of him.
Also,
I'm
Grease,
going home.
Grease wasn't really in the hyper battle video all that much.
Really?
Yeah. But the Kuma Telebi form is pretty cool.
I bet.
Minus he has like a weird television show that sometimes comes on one of the TVs on his arm.
He has a
It's like some
TV on
weird-
his arm?
Yeah, he's got a whole bunch of them.
And then you have to watch it?
Yeah,
as an audience
they
member?
just stand there looking at the weird lady with like a plush television hat on. It's very strange.
Sounds amazing.
Hyper battle videos are always weird as fuck.
They always make
yeah.
no sense.
You remember
That-
Ryuga?
Oh boy.
Yes. Yes, I do.
Who could forget Kamen Rider Ryuga?
But yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say about that. He uses the bear to throw a giant glob of honey, and then he scoops out a energy salmon.
Energy
As we all
salmon?
know.
Yeah.
As we all know, bears are responsible for the production of honey.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
So, so of course he has a honey cannon.
Bears make honey
no,
and
he
bees
just
eat
has
it.
a jar on it that says honey. He's like Pooh Bear.
Hunny.
Yeah.
I don't know. If anyone wants to see some screenshots of it, maybe I'll do it.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind seeing a picture of Bear TV.
You can post that on the RCR Twitter if you want.
Yeah,
Okay.
go for it.
Let's all take a break from discussing TV shows
Okay.
and play a quiz about a TV show.
Oh boy.
All right, what's
I've
the
been
Star
planning
Trek
this-
question of the week or fun fact of the week?
No. You wish. This is far worse. This is the Kamen Rider Ghost Basic Information Quiz.
Oh,
I totally didn't see this coming.
Who could have guessed?
Earlier this month, I realized I don't remember anything from Kamen Rider Ghost, and I thought it would be absolutely hilarious to look up the answers to a bunch of very, very simple questions and see if anyone remembers any of it. Liam, of course, watched through the entire series with me. Max watched until...
I don't know. It was like
we
I
watched till
stopped after
episode
the
7.
after like the Beethoven form.
Oh shit! So
I was like,
very
this
early.
is stupid as fuck.
So very early.
Yeah.
And Max has also listened to a couple episodes of us griping on Rider Club Radio about it.
Okay.
And then there was the
for
one
those-
episode I did of like episode 18 where Jeff was gone for a bit, so I saw the crossover episode with
Yes.
was it Drive? Yeah, it was Drive.
Yeah, I think so.
No, it was a crossover episode with Juoger.
Juoger, sorry.
Oh,
Why would they
yeah.
guess?
Yeah.
It was so long ago. See, that's how little I actually remember about Ghost.
So, Liam has a clear advantage here,
Okay,
everyone.
I'm the clear odds-on favorite. Let's see how I do.
Alright. What is Kamen Rider Ghost's father's name?
Oh my god.
This is the easiest question on the quiz.
Otosan.
his name was Daddy-O. No. It was Ryu, right?
Yes!
Yes!
Ding, ding, ding!
Oh,
Oh.
You actually got it.
That took me a second.
What is the name of the series' main villain?
Oh.
I don't
The
know.
boogeyman.
That would have been great if it turned out to be the Boogeyman.
He is a
Jolly
monster.
Ollie Man.
What was that guy's name? It was like someone's brother or something. Was it
Adele.
Alan's
Yeah.
Alan's
Adele.
brother?
Adele.
Yes. Liam is the clear favorite in this one because he watched the show.
Adele.
So,
Fuck
Okay.
Adele.
who would be a better villain than Adele?
Anyone?
Amy
Ding,
Winehouse.
Correct.
The busted teeth guy.
The busted teeth guy? I don't know.
There was a villain in Kamen Rider Ghost who was almost as important as Adele. He was his right-hand man, appears in more episodes than him, and is a specific villain for the human characters, not just for Ghost.
I'm not gonna lie to you, I have no idea who this person is.
He is a scientist, and Akari, who as it turns out is the girl's name from the show I found out, refers to him as KMS all the time, which is not an annoying trait to have at all.
Is it Edison?
No. It is
Does
not Edison.
KMS
Dude,
stand
it's
for kill myself? Because that's what you want to do when you
I-
watch Ghost.
Yes.
I remember her using the term KMS. I have no recollection of who she's referring to.
Igor.
Igor?
Igor.
Fuck that guy.
Why?
Yes.
Why KMS?
Killer Mad
It
Scientist.
stands for Con Pecanari Mado Scientistu.
Yeah.
Oh.
I think overtime translated as Killer Mad Scientist.
Yes, because it's perfectionist mad scientist.
Oh, yeah.
This is
He is-
another very tough one.
Okay.
He's not mad. He is just angry.
He's upset.
This is another very tough one. Seiji Takaiwa plays a role in this series that has no fucking impact on the outcome of the series whatsoever, and then dies. What is his character's name?
Kamen Rider Ghost.
Correct. No, his name is Gyro.
Oh, Gyro.
Yeah.
I remember
Does he
Gyro.
make delicious Greek sandwich thingies?
Delicious gyros.
I wish.
I remember his stupid headband.
Alright, this is the easiest question out of all of them.
Okay.
Oh boy.
What is the sage's real name?
Who's the sage?
The guy.
The guy.
Remember the guy?
The old
ghostly
man.
guy that's like
Yeah,
in,
the old man.
The gray hair.
the old
he's in his
guy?
room watching him
This is probably
sleep.
not actually an easy question. It's just really easy for me because it's my aunt's name.
Jeff's Aunt Edith.
Yes, Jeff's Aunt Edith.
Yeah. I remember now.
Ooh,
Okay.
damn.
This is tough.
This concludes the Ghost basic information trivia.
That was actually kind of fun and funny, just because fuck Ghost.
That was very hard.
We'll be back next time, maybe, with some more Ghost basic information trivia.
I will not go on the wiki.
No, we won't cheat.
I'm not going to read about it because I don't care.
The wiki is the only reason I know the answer to any of them.
Yeah.
So.
The vast repository of human knowledge.
I will only go to the trivia sections and see all the not trivia.
See how this particular character has something to do with Sonic the Hedgehog?
Yeah, he's very fast and he is colored blue.
This is obviously a reference to Sonic the Hedgehog.
It's
See
obvious.
how Adele is a reference to Patrick Star from SpongeBob.
What?
I'd love to read how that works out. You know what? You know what else started since our last episode? Which is it is a nice Super Sentai series called Lupinranger versus Patranger. It might just be Patranger.
Patrick
I don't
Ranger.
know.
Patrick
Patranger.
Star Ranger. There it is.
I'll just call it Patranger, just because it sounds
Patranger.
funny. Patranger.
What did you guys think of this? I watched all 5 episodes so far.
I watched 2 episodes. There's 5 episodes of it?
Maybe there's 4. I don't remember.
Oh.
I'm sorry, everyone.
I wasn't
watched-
paying attention and didn't know what happened, so I don't even know what you're talking about.
Yeah, I only watched 2 episodes of it, but I enjoyed it.
There are 4. There are 4 episodes of Thief Sentai Lupinranger versus Police Sentai Patranger.
Patranger.
It's an interesting dynamic having 2 different teams that are kind of butting heads with each other.
The
Excuse me,
fight
I had a little
scenes
hiccup
get
there.
crazy as well. They finally Toei Productions finally learned what a GoPro is. So there is a shit ton of GoPro footage
Yeah,
in the show.
some good dynamic shots. They had some in the second opening of Go Busters too. They had some GoPro shots at the ends of their weapons. It looked pretty nice.
They have a ton in this. Like every fight scene, they're breaking that GoPro out, and you can tell because the video quality becomes like about half as good. But it is dynamic as fuck.
Remember when they used the GoPro in the Hobbit movies?
Yes.
And then all of a sudden it looks like an
Major
amateur
motion
skateboard
picture.
movie.
Yeah.
In the barrel scene.
Fuck that
In a
movie.
major Hollywood AAA production, they pulled out the GoPro.
Anywho, yeah, it was fun. It was fun watching. The guns look really weird.
Yeah, they look like plastic that was in a fire. Like, you can't really tell what the shape's supposed to be.
I really like the sounds where when you put the thing in, it's like making like some thief music. I don't know.
I do like the dynamic that there's 2 separate teams and they're sort of like sharing equipment
Yeah,
between the 2 of them.
I think the guns look better for the Patrangers just because it kind of like fills the gun out a little bit more when they have that car on there.
Yeah,
But
the little jetties don't.
yeah, but
The
you know,
Patrangers don't have any interesting thing about them yet. The pink one is kind of cool because she's the badass, but she's like obsessed with plushies.
You know what I thought was kind of jarring, but was their commissioner guy was like a not Japanese guy. He's a black guy, and I was like, what? Oh, that's cool.
I'd heard about that ahead of time, but like it is really cool that they have like I think he's American. They have an American actor playing their chief.
I had to look him up after seeing that, and it's like, yep, he is. He is like a popular comedian in Japan.
He strikes me as a comedian. He's like all smiles and he like talks with a bit of a goofy accent.
Yeah. But yeah,
their
that was
robot.
neat.
The Patranger's robot sidekick is annoying as fuck, though.
And really weird looking.
Yeah, what the fuck is it supposed to be?
I don't know. But nothing is as weird as the talking gerbil from Hurricaneger.
Yeah, it's pretty weird. But at least you knew what it was. It's a gerbil. This, I don't know. It's like a robot, maybe?
It has
Did
human
nobody else
arms.
watch this?
I'm gonna be straight with you guys. I tried to stream it to my PS4 and it didn't work once, so I said, okay, I'll do this later, and then I never did it later.
Okay, so I guess Jeff and I are just talking to each other right now.
This is the Max and Jeff Power Hour.
This is your segment. Yeah, I will watch it. It looks kind of cool, but I just fucking forgot. I'm gonna drop Yu-Gi-Oh because it sucks. Turns out. So
It turns out Yu-Gi-Oh kind of sucks.
Yu-Gi-Oh GX is terrible. So
why were you watching Yu-Gi-Oh GX?
Because I like the idea of like a school days Yu-Gi-Oh series, but it's really badly written. So
that's a shame.
I wouldn't watch that show if you paid me.
Yes, you would.
Like it starts.
Yeah,
it's like
I need money.
it's like
I guess you should just watch 5Ds now.
I could go to 5Ds or I could go to Blade, which is probably what I'm going to do.
You should really watch Blade.
Probably
like
gonna
half
watch
of our
Blade.
emails mention that you should watch Blade.
Yeah, Excite Subs has put out a decent chunk of Blade subs that I could start with there, and then segue into TV Nihon.
It's not that bad with
Yeah.
Blade.
Yeah,
If Excite Subs is doing, I would just probably wait for their releases instead of going to
that's
TV
true.
Nihon.
yeah, but I don't want to wait that long.
Oh,
My problem with Lupinranger versus Patranger is that none of the characters are interesting.
that's true. I don't know any of their names because I'm just like, oh, it's just that guy.
It's
Whatever.
red guy, it's green guy, it's blue guy.
The only character that really stands out is the red Lupinranger because he just looks so bizarre.
He's a really strange looking dude.
He's got like a bird nose and got a high-pitched squealy goose voice.
And they look like idiots in their like Lupin outfits.
Oh, with like
Like-
their masquerade stuff.
Yeah, they're like sequined masks and shit. Not a good look.
I do like the blue one though, just because he doesn't talk much. I guess.
The blue one's the stoic badass.
Yeah.
I think Liam will like him because he's fighting to get his fiancée back, so he's a little bit like Knight.
What happened to his fiancée?
Fiancé.
The whole,
Oh, do you
the
remember
whole fucking like plot line, I guess, is that the ganglers are the villains. They're like interdimensional gang members, like mafia members.
The spastic ganglers.
Yeah. And like this freezing gangler just went around and like froze people and killed them.
Okay.
And if you get all the pieces of the Lupin collection for this mysterious butler guy, he'll give you your loved ones back to life with the power.
Interesting.
If you ever
They
see
have not done anything dramatic with that yet.
if you ever see a tall, skinny guy, you can always call him a gangler. That's all I have to say.
So far, I would give Lupinranger versus Patranger a solid C+. It's all right.
Yeah, it's neat. The little safes inside the ganglers that they have to get the little artifacts out of. It's kind of neat.
I give the fight scenes a B, though.
Yeah,
they're
those
really
are good.
dynamic.
Those are
It's not like a Garo yet or anything, but they're still pretty cool.
It has the common thing where you just turn your brain off when the giant robots come out.
Oh god, yeah.
It's really bad at this one.
Like
where you're just
they
like,
go full CG in a lot of these fights,
Ugh,
so you can't even tell what the fuck's happening.
that's
But
rough.
the show itself is fine. Like I got no problem with it. I hope it gains a little bit of depth. Because, I mean, Zyuohger was a lot less in-depth when it came to the stories having, like, weight to them. There was some that did. But
Didn't it really more build around the characters in Zyuohger? Yeah. The characters were really likable.
Yeah, the characters' personalities were really strong, and you got a sense of them immediately.
And they had easy-to-remember names.
Yeah. I couldn't tell you the difference between some of these characters right off the top of my head in the new one. I mean, it seems like they have the green guy be the goofy guy who's trying to show that he's capable, but a lot of times he seems a little, like, weirdly stoic or just regular friendly. And the red guy's supposed to be, like, a hot-blooded idiot, but...
He's just, like, what's his name? The guy from Genpachi from Drive.
He's like Gen from
He's
Drive.
like Genpachi's son, pretty much.
Yeah, pretty much. He's not as entertaining yet, but...
He's Zenigata.
I have hopes for it. The last episode actually stuck out to me more because we got a character-focused episode with the Pink Ranger. You didn't get to that one, did you?
Nope.
I won't say anything else about it, but
Yeah.
it made me like her. She's my... the Pink Ranger, the Patranger. It made me like her more than anybody else on the show because at least she has a personality now.
Okay. Good to know.
And that's the end of that.
Glad to hear it. I'll have to check it out. I don't want to fall too far behind on it.
You sound so thrilled about it.
I'll have to check it out one of these days.
I guess I'll look at it someday.
I'll take a look. I don't want to fall too far
As soon as he finishes Yu-Gi-Oh! GX.
Do you guys want to read some emails?
Yes.
Yeah.
Sure.
Lay 'em on us.
We got a lot of emails this time. I wanted to up front say thanks you guys for sending in emails this time. A lot of nice ones. I appreciate it.
He only got so many that were calling him a piece of crap. So he was able to
Only
ignore
6 this week.
them.
We only had 27 emails this week telling Tamaz to leave the show.
Only 27?
So-
Oh, man, that's better than the 270 last month when I actually left the show.
Our first email is from Dewey Defeats Truman, who asks, is the inverse suit principle dead? Because, I mean, Build's knocking it the fuck out of the park right now.
I
Yeah.
was thinking about that before. Like, you know, Build suits looked really cool, but the show's also good. Because X-Aid was still sticking out. Like, X-Aid suits looked fucking stupid, and the show was pretty good. And Ghost suits looked pretty good, and the show was complete fucking garbage.
Yeah,
Well,
I think Build has shattered the inverse suit principle for
The
now.
thing
It'll
about
be back.
X-Aid's suits were that they grew on you.
X8
Yes.
suits
After a
really
while,
grew on me.
After a while, I was like, "Oh, I actually really like the suit now,"
They
and
had
I really miss the base suits.
Yeah.
They had a quirky, like, factor to them that fit
They
with the oddity of the show, being like, you know, video game writers that are also extreme aid doctors.
They were
It was
unapologetically
it was like an
loud.
ugly pug.
Yeah.
Right? It was like an ugly pug that was drooling, and you were like, ugh, when you first see it, but then you're like, actually, that's a really cute dog.
And going from the overly designed X-Aid suits, well, I guess sort of overly designed, to like the super simple look of Build, I wouldn't say that it's like shattered. It's more like even. Would you say?
I'd say, like, the inverse suit principle just means, like, one is better than the other regardless.
Oh, okay.
With this being
yeah,
evened
I'd say
out,
it
it
is
means that
for
it
this
beat it.
series. At least it's
Invalid.
invalid.
Yeah, it's gonna come
It's
back.
the exception
Don't
that proves the
worry.
rule.
Don't worry, the inverse suit principle will be back soon.
Just wait, yeah, right after these messages.
On an unrelated note, I need the new guy and the dead guy's opinions on whether Garen or Chalice is the secondary rider of Blade.
Chalice?
Well, I like Garen's design more.
I like...
So Garen.
Chalice was the only character I liked in...
God, Chalice bugged the fuck out of me.
He was the only
so
character
annoying.
that, like, felt like they were doing something with him, where I didn't really like any of the other characters in the entire show. And so I got through to,
liked a
like,
lot of
episode
them.
25, and the only character that I was really, like, I was watching their scenes was Chalice's scenes. but that was also like
That's
a couple
so weird.
episodes after that. The character that no one fucking likes in Blade, the fourth rider.
Yeah.
That
Liangle.
Liangle killed the show for
Yeah.
me, and I never went back to it
Mootsky.
because it was bugging the shit out of me. So I didn't finish the show because I hated it as soon as that character came in,
I liked
and I was
everybody
only
except
kind of
Liangle.
okay with the show before that at that point anyway.
I like Garen because of the face actor. Really,
Yeah, that guy's great.
I like the images of him like doing that weird scream
Oh,
face.
you love the memes. You love your Blade memes.
Who doesn't love Blade
him
memes?
him just peering through a doorway or whatever.
I don't
Peeking
like
around the
I don't like
corner.
Blade memes. I don't like memes.
I love memes.
That's the noise that I always associate to that scream thing.
The first 12 episodes of Blade are just like the most terrible show you're ever gonna see. And once you get past that 12, 13 is a really good episode, and you're like, is this show not garbage?
Yeah.
I like Blade a lot. It's got its problems, but yeah, Chalice was, besides Liangle, was probably my least favorite character. He's your standard, oh, I'm a monster mash. What should I do?
What should I do?
I don't know. It was the only interesting part of the show for me, which wasn't enough to keep me watching. So that
So
was
there's
my
your
perspective.
answer. Our next email is from Amy, formerly Dexter, who says,
Yellow.
it's been a while since I've dropped a listen to you guys. My God, you've multiplied. We
We're
did
like
double.
rabbits.
Yeah, Liam and Jeff fucked, and so we're here now.
Mm-hmm. They grow up so fast.
They shouldn't have put me and Liam in the same cage together. That's what I'm saying. I've not listened since the end of Ghost. Woo boy. Since then, I've watched Fies and Kuga. Now I'm trying to tackle Den-O, Agito, Blade, and Ryuki because I downloaded too much at one time.
Yipes.
Anyway,
That's a lot. It's a lot on the plate.
question time. If you were able to convince John Toei, praise be to he, to make a Kamen Rider Spirits movie, how would it be the best to do it? Personally, I only want to see it live action to see who they cast for Taki Kazuya. That's about it, I think. Sincerely, Amy.
I'd take
anime.
a volume of the manga and just shove it in his face and go, "Make this! It's good!"
Shot for shot. Don't change a single fucking thing.
Shot
You know
for
they
shot,
can't
panel
do
for
that.
panel, anime.
I thought you said, how do you make him make it?
No, it's how would it be best to make the adaptation?
Oh,
What if
yeah,
they made
shot
it
for
an
shot,
anime
because
instead?
it's super great.
Yeah. I want an anime. I don't want live action. I don't want them to recast the original writers.
Yeah,
like,
that's
voice
true.
actors is fine.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Get the guys. I forget
into
the
that.
I forget the studio that did One Punch Man, but they did a very faithful recreation of Murata's manga, and get them to do it.
Mm.
That'd be down with that.
Spirits absolutely deserves some sort of adaptation or some sort of recognition.
I love
Spirits
that.
is. Oh, good.
I was going to say, I just love that Rider Man arc.
Oh yeah,
It's so good.
Where he's
And
got
it's-
that is
amnesia.
actually a really great arc.
Yeah.
It's not totally out of possibility that they might revisit it because Double got a manga 6 years after it ended.
That's true.
It's true.
This is
Technically,
true.
Kamen Rider Spirits is still ongoing as Kamen Rider Shin Spirits.
Yeah.
So
Oh,
who knows?
I'd like an adaptation.
But yeah, my favorite arc. What is your favorite arc? Is it the Rider Man arc?
yeah.
Because my favorite arc is the Rider 2 arc. When he's in, like, the jungles of South America.
Oh, that one was so
and-
good.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
That is good.
goddamn.
And they're
that
like,
was
oh,
my absolute
They
favorite.
think his hands are covered in blood, but it's just the red gloves. I love that part.
Man.
So fucking good.
Yeah.
I haven't read Spirits.
Ugh,
That's a
Spirits is
shame, man.
fucking
Also,
great.
the whole skull thing was pretty cool, too.
Oh, yeah.
Oh
when
yeah,
he's-
the first arc.
He's got the
Yeah.
tasers on his fists and the fucking shotgun shells on his boots. It's great.
Mm-hmm.
Which is exactly how it would work in real life.
Exactly. Just
Go
tape
try
them-
it, kids.
Tape them to your
Uh-oh.
boots.
Well, I mean,
We are not
Bayonetta
liable
did
for
it.
any injuries.
Honestly, V3's arc too, where he has to go into that flying robotic pyramid and he can't transform because he's already used his like double typhoon attack.
Shit.
That's a pretty fucking dope one, too.
Yeah, the whole manga is great.
Also, the art is really good, too.
The art's so good.
It really is. Anyway. Oh, actually, my favorite arc is in Shin Kamen Rider Spirits, where it tells how Kamen Rider 2 came to be. And it shows Kamen Rider 1, like, going on his last adventure before he goes to America, and Rider 2 happens during it. And they have to team up for the first time. Really dope.
I
My favorite.
didn't read Shin Spirits, so I can't comment on that.
That's the only part of Shin Spirits I've read.
Is Shin in Shin Spirits?
No.
You fucking might be.
Maybe one day.
I had to ask.
Our next email is from the Yukio.
Oh.
Not the Yu-Gi-Oh!
Oh.
You
Don't get
got Liam's
excited.
attention there.
So, hello, RCR team. How's it going? I'm
Good.
Yukio, a 30-year-old Brazilian. Probably 31 by the time you read this, LOL.
Happy birthday.
Got him! And a huge Kamen Rider fan. I came across RCR by chance on a post on TV Nihon.
What?
I've been having a great time listening to you guys, laughing a lot, and giving a second thought about some things on Build and some other Rider series.
After all the shit we say about
Yeah.
TV Nihon,
I'm gonna guess it was I'm gonna guess it was a TV Nihon message board post that someone else did.
The nicest thing we've ever said about TV Nihon is they sure are prolific.
And yet they didn't touch Game Center for like years.
Yeah.
So I have some questions for you all. One, besides Liam and Blade, great fucking show, by the way. Just watch it already, Liam.
I'm working on it,
What are other Heisei series that you guys still haven't watched, and why? Let's do a round table. Let's start with Max.
what I haven't watched?
Yeah, you haven't watched Heisei-wise.
I haven't finished Kuga.
It's a shame.
Yeah, I know.
Kuga's so good.
Blade, Hibiki. I don't
can't
even know.
blame you
I
for-
know nothing about Hibiki.
I
at
can't
all.
blame you for Kuga, though. It's a bit of a slog.
Have you watched Kiva?
I watched the first episode of Kiva and I immediately
you need.
deleted the episode. I was like, no, not for me. No
Yeah.
more for me, thanks. I'm driving.
Erase the stain off your hard drive.
How about Decade?
I did not watch Decade at all. No,
It's probably for the best.
I watched some of Deno. It's weird. I kind of liked Deno, and then I was just like, yeah, okay, I'll get back to this eventually, and I never got back to it.
You know, technically, you're still not wrong when you said that. You still have a lifetime to get back to it.
Yeah.
It's a constant
I-
climax.
Life
I'd like
is
to
climax, yep.
I'd like to retract that earlier statement about Kuga. It is a bit of a slog, but I love it to death, so don't worry.
All right, Liam, tell us the series you haven't watched.
Double. I haven't seen
You
Double.
piece of
Shame.
shit.
I know.
Shame.
I
I
know.
just finished rewatching it too.
I'm just way more interested in pre-decade Heisei than I am in post-decade Heisei. I don't know what it is about the era that fascinates me way more, but I'll get to Double. I'll get there eventually.
That is not the only one you haven't watched.
Oh no, I've watched tons. I haven't watched Hibiki. I haven't watched Kiva. I haven't watched Deno. Obviously Blade. I haven't watched Oz or Forze. I haven't watched Wizard. I'm not planning on ever watching that one. Haven't watched Decade. Yeah, I have a lot of Heisei shows I haven't seen. I got a lot ahead of me.
Jeez.
You'd think that I'd suck the dick off of Deno because I love trains.
That's right.
Suck all the chrome off it.
And I actually like Momotaros.
I heard
You'll get
Deno's
back
good.
to it one day,
Japan
don't worry.
fucking loves Deno.
Yeah. I
Tamaz.
I
whatever
hate
you
Cho Deno. That shit sucks.
Mm.
Let's see, what haven't I haven't watched Fies because I heard about all the adventures that Max had, that being his first show. I'm not touching it.
Flies is so fucking good until the last third.
I watched half of Blade, and I felt that was enough for me. I'm sure the second half has some good stuff, but I don't really feel a need to go back to it. I watched the first 5 episodes of Kabuto with Max. I didn't really get into it. I didn't like the characters. I watched 1 episode of Deno. Also didn't really seem like I'd like the setting or the characters that much. It just didn't feel right to me. I feel like I might like Hibiki, but the only people that have translated it are Team Nihon, so I haven't touched it. I haven't watched Kiva.
Thanks for shouting us out, TV Nihon.
Yeah,
shoutouts
thanks
to
for
TV
the
Nihon.
thanks for the ups.
For the signal boost.
I haven't watched Kiva because I don't like Twilight. I haven't watched Decade.
Ayo.
I haven't watched Decade because it shits all over everything else that comes before it. And if you take Godai Yusuke and make him out to be a prat, I'm sorry, I'm not going to respect you.
Chris Pratt.
Chris Pratt.
I was gonna make the same exact joke.
I have watched
Pratt
Wizard.
is
I
good.
don't recommend
Yoink.
it. I watched all of Wizard, and I beg you not to. And then I've watched and then I didn't watch Ghost, and I've seen everything else double onwards, except Ghost. And no, just Ghost. Ghost is the only one I haven't watched.
Did you finish Forza?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh.
Tomaz and I watched it together.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't watched Hibiki
Mm.
or Hibiki anyway, because again, TV Nihon. That was all we had, and I try to avoid it as much as possible. Is Metronome still subbing Hibiki?
I want to say yes, but I haven't checked recently.
I haven't checked it recently either. I watched 3 or 4 episodes of Kiva, and was like, no. I did not watch O's. I only got to about the halfway point when I was watching it before, and shit came up, and I haven't gone back to it yet. Haven't watched Wizard,
Good choice, I hear.
and I think that's it. I think I've watched everything else.
Huh. See, I tried when we first started doing this. I tried for so long to hide that I hadn't seen Double, but it came to a point where I couldn't hide it any longer.
It's such a, he tried to hide it from me too, is the thing. So I would just still be talking about it, and he'd be like,
Yeah. Your opinions
Yeah,
on
I
Double,
remember
same
when
as
that
mine.
happened.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, my favorite character, Philip.
Question 2. What is your favorite Rider series so far, and favorite Rider character?
Oh,
We'll do the same order. We'll do Max, Liam, Tomaz, me.
my favorite series?
Yeah, Rider series and Rider character.
Oh my god, it's so broad. It's such a broad
Yes.
question.
You can pass, and we'll come back around to you.
Can I do a twofer?
Sure. There
All
are no
right.
rules.
If you
So far-
if you pick 2 series, you're off the show. I'm sorry. You can't.
I'll say pre-decade. How about that? And post-decade.
Sure.
All right, pre-decade. I loved Agito. It was great.
Fuck yeah.
Good choice.
It was. I loved G3 in that series
G3 the
so
boss.
much. Such a great writer, and I'd say post. We're not including build in this because it's not done yet.
Yes.
I'd have to say O's. And my favorite of that is, of course, Date Akira, Kamen Rider Birth.
Basu.
Because he's just such a big goofball, and I love him.
He is great. He's especially great as Kamen Rider, as Space Sheriff Scheider.
Yeah, he likes to take his shirt off.
He was a great shader.
Why wouldn't he?
If I had abs like that, I would literally never wear a shirt.
Yep.
Wash my clothes off of those abs.
Liam?
My favorite show is Ryuki, and that's in large part due to my favorite character being Knight. So
Where's
Shocking.
the surprise?
get the fuck out!
Shocking.
Yeah, you knew. All
Get
of you
the
knew.
Well, yeah,
Fuck
that's why I
outta
bought
here.
you. That's why I bought you that Knight figure.
Yeah, I like his struggle.
Tomaz?
I like his struggle trying to get his girl back, but how he tries not to make himself. He tries to make himself not like.
He doesn't want to
Shinji.
become the demon.
He doesn't want to become a murderer, but he has to save his girlfriend. I like that internal struggle. So I like him the most. It's my choice.
Did you say Shinji? Oh, yes.
Yeah,
'cause
Shinji.
that's the
Yeah, he
main
does.
character
Yeah.
of
No,
Ryuki.
the main character of Ryuki is Knight.
Yeah, didn't you get that?
Okay. Yep,
The main
yep,
character
yep.
of Ryuki's
horseshit.
attack.
Yeah. Tomas?
It's just difficult because I just finished rewatching Double, and there's a lot I like about Double, but it feels very quaint in comparison to a lot of the shows that came after it because so many of the shows learned from Double, and so going back and rewatching it, it feels very simple. And that's not necessarily a bad thing. I like the characters, but they aren't expanded on to the level that some of the characters get backstory in some of the later shows. I would have said Double, and I really do still love Double, but it's more of like a rotation of the top three, and I gotta say it's somewhere between Kuga, Double, and maybe Agito, just because Agito really is just that good. It's got the right amount of goofy. It's got this weird ass plot line that kind of comes out of nowhere. It just keeps going. It just keeps going. You keep wanting to watch the next episode. And I'd say really some of the only weaknesses in Agito are that it's sometimes a little too goofy, and it doesn't address certain things, and it just sort of leaves them open-ended. And then the last 5 episodes are just kind of strange. And another Agito feels like he doesn't even really need to be there. They just kind of made another character, and it's kind of pointless. But I'd have to say overall favorite character, not favorite writer necessarily, but favorite character is Godai Yusuke, just because he's the most pure distilled form of someone that fights for justice and fights for the smiles of those around him and takes on the burdens of, having to defeat all these monsters, and does it with, a big grin on his face and a thumbs up.
Just to clarify, did you say pure or Fuhrer?
Pure.
Ooh. No, you said Fuhrer, Max.
I thought you said Fuhrer. I was like,
He's
what?
the Fuhrer.
He's the Fuhrer. By the way, have you heard about our Lord and Savior? I'm not going to take this joke any farther.
Okay, good.
Okay, it's a good place to end it. My favorite series is probably Agito. It's the most consistent writer series that I can looking back on. It's the one I was most consistently entertained by, the one I was most into while watching. Echoing everyone else's sentiments who talked about it, the characters are all very engaging. The storyline continually ramps up, and the mysteries unfold in a really nice, believable way for the most part. There's some slogs, but I think it's pretty much the most even series. My favorite character, I would at one point in time have said Shotaro from Kamen Rider Double, and especially him as Kamen Rider Joker. I'm gonna have to amend that and say my favorite character is Kagami, Kamen Rider Gattack.
That's surprising to me.
That is, I just amended it in my own heart just then when I was thinking about the question. It's Kagami is the character I felt most for while watching, that I could feel actually worried about as a protagonist, and his growth from being like a wannabe hanger-on, inept, coward, idiot to being Kamen Rider Gattack, the hero of the story, is huge.
That's pretty cool.
He is for sure the strongest character in Kabuto. That's no word of a lie.
Yeah, there's no doubt in that one.
So then why do they always bring back Kabuto for the movies?
Because he's the main
His
rider.
name was on the show.
Yeah.
You've been talking about Amazons kind of a lot lately, so have any of you watched Garo, and what's your opinion about it? Best regards, the Yukio.
Jeff, you fucking love Garo, right?
I do fucking love Garo. I've seen every bit of Garo media besides the animes.
My only motivation to watching Garo was boobies.
Yeah,
there are boobies in the first episode of every Garo series, I think. And every now and then, very rarely, there will be boobies like way later on.
Interesting.
They know how to hook them in,
yeah.
is what I'm saying.
The boobies?
Yes.
Okay.
You come for Garo, and you're like, well, I'll check this out, and there's tits, and you're hooked for life.
And you're like, maybe there will be more tits if I watch.
Why do you think Jeff has watched all of it?
Garo has the best fight scenes I have ever seen in Tokusatsu. They're all out-of-suit fight scenes as well, so, like, the actors have to be able to do fight scenes. And, of course, they have, like, stunt doubles for some of the, like, crazier shit. But, really, being in suit in Garo is basically like using a final attack in any other Tokusatsu.
Okay.
Because you can only be in suit for 99 milliseconds. Or else it will burn you alive.
Oh, I thought you were saying,
it.
like, the suits are so uncomfortable you can only... Like,
No,
the actor can only
in
be
universe.
in there. Okay.
In universe, you can only be... It's 999 milliseconds, I think.
Okay.
And if you're in suit any longer than that, it will, like, corrupt you and turn you into a demon monster.
Shit.
And their weapons actually, like, are corrosive to the touch, so they only draw them out when they're being used and instantly put them back in the sheath every single time.
That's kind of cool.
So the fight scenes are frantic. They're top speed fighting, doing all this crazy shit that's amazing, and the storyline is... It sets up a really cool, believable universe that feels lived in, and, like, the Makai world and the people fighting these horrors have existed for eons. And you feel like you're in the new era of this world that exists, that's counter to our own. It's really cool.
That's really interesting.
And the main character...
And I'm not just sounding like I'm saying that. That actually is interesting.
The first two series main character is actually a giant stoic badass too, so it's always fun watching him take down horrors.
Horrors?
Horrors. There are some horrors in there too, but he
Always
doesn't kill
great
them.
watching the main character destroy thoughts all day.
So yeah, I'm the only one that's watched Garo, but I do highly, highly recommend it.
I keep saying I'll have to check it out one of these days.
And then you never do.
I might someday, right after Double.
We're old men. We just forget immediately
Yeah.
after saying we'll do something.
In anime age, we're old men.
Yeah,
Oh, no doubt.
Yeah.
yeah. We're not in
I'm on
high
my
school anymore,
deathbed.
guys.
In anime age. Thanks for that email, though, Yukio. Greetings from the Americas.
Don't come here.
Although
It
you're in
sucks.
South America, so it does. You're also in the Americas, so.
Get your country straight.
Our next email is from Jake the Snake.
Of
Welcome back.
course.
The snake.
He's back.
the
Back
snake.
from
Outer
back
space.
from missing a month.
Outer snake.
He says, "Hey RCR, sometimes I wonder if it's fair that Build continues to be this amazing and have such great suits. Some thoughts on February's batch. As usual, feel free to skip over them if they've already been talked about or are too long, but I request that the first point be read. And the first point is, I never really thought about if the things like the beaker being real till you guys talked about it last episode. Like, you didn't think about transformation shit being real items in the real world.
Not just
And Rogue-
energy things.
Yeah. And Rogue's transformation sequence got me thinking even more. I like those things. I think those things have to be real because the suit molds could block bullet shots. So if Gentoku transformed next to someone, wouldn't they get impaled or crushed by the jaw clamps?
I guess so.
Maybe.
Yeah.
That's way more terrifying.
It could be.
I think about that all the time now. Every time someone transforms, I'm just like, is that a real thing?
Maybe it's hard light.
I mean,
Yeah,
like,
maybe.
in Gaim, you had the fruit come down from Helheim, and it
That's not the
lands
same.
on your head.
Yeah.
That's not the same.
Well-
The fruit comes out of Helheim, and that makes sense, but, like, a beaker appears out of your belt that's twice the size of your body and fills up with liquid and then explodes.
His cell phone turns into a motorcycle.
I don't know, it's an item turning into an item. That's different than just a thing appearing.
It's
that's
still breaking the
400
law
times
of
the size of your
conservation
body.
matter.
How about the law of matter not being able to just exist from nothing?
That's still the law of conservation of matter.
I'll conserve your matter after you're dead.
I just think
thank
you
you.
are making a very false equivalence here, and it doesn't make sense when it happens in your examples either. But in my example, it's like cartoonishly ridiculous.
I don't know. It's all
it's
ridiculous
hammer
to
space.
me. Yeah.
It all exists in hammer space.
Questions. 1. Which of the best match jingles / taglines are some of your favorites? Dunk or not? I really do dig Smartphone Wolf's The Lone Online Warrior, who's, as someone who works the graveyard shift a lot, I can't help but have a soft spot for a title like that. That's great.
Dazzling Destroyer. Gorillamon is pretty cool.
Yeah.
That one is really cool.
Not
And
gonna
that's
lie.
not just because I like gorillas.
Not gonna lie, I was gonna say Lone Online Warrior, but
Yeah, I was gonna pick that one too until he picked it, because that one's the one that I busted out laughing when I heard.
Probably just because you thought of Liam.
I had to post that it was Liam's new form.
it was basically a race to see who could get that dunk first, and
Yeah.
Jeff made it.
Okay, dunk or not, I understand.
Yeah, now you get it.
Okay, I get it.
Yeah.
Mine is probably Black Hazard, just because I love the Yabe. Like, oh no.
That is really cool. Oh no, it's Black Hazard!
Oh no,
I
you're
have-
gonna go crazy with the brain blast.
I have my hazard trigger right here. I'm not gonna press any buttons.
Don't press no buttons.
Oh,
Max.
no!
We don't need you trying to kill us tonight.
Next question. Do you guys think that after the conflict with Sato, the Sato arc concludes, whether they manage to take over Toto or able to defend themselves, that Namba Heavy Industries will stab everyone in the back and take Pandora's box for themselves? No. I think
I can see
Stalk's
that.
gonna be the one.
I could totally
He's
see
gonna
that.
be the one, like the theme
Be
song.
the one. Be the one. That could happen, though. It could be the old man turns out to be final villain, just like in Amazon's.
I could totally
I'm
see
alright
that.
with that.
He could
I'm
be the
okay with
villain
him.
of the next arc, and then Stock will shoot him or something, or he'll fall off a building, or he'll get eaten by a monster.
His actor's gonna die, and then they just write him out of the show.
He's gonna fall off a building. Yeah, that's the way people die in Rider.
Yeah. Sento's gonna shove him off a building. No belt or anything.
He's gonna get crushed to death between two giant rocks.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Question 3.
Did someone
think
die
we'll
like
get-
that?
Yes,
Someone
someone
dies
did. I'm
like
not gonna
that
say who
in a show.
but,
Okay, moving on.
He might
Do you
die of
guys
a
think
heart
we'll get
disease.
Do you guys think we'll get insert songs for the characters sometime in the coming episodes, or do you expect it'll be done like it was in X8, where the insert songs will be background music during the fights, with lyrics added to them whenever the show's soundtrack is released?
Probably the latter.
Yeah, that
Seems
seems
like
to
that's
be
where
the
they're
new
going.
thing for them.
Yeah. Oh, what do you mean, like character-specific themes
Like
or
their
something?
theme
Yeah.
music, yeah.
Man, fucking Agito's motorcycle had its own stupid theme
Yeah.
song.
Tornado.
It was great.
You're not gonna tell me that every time "Believe Yourself" came on, you didn't fucking
Oh
Believe
yeah,
my-
rock
myself?
hard erection instantaneously.
I was, yep, tears down my face.
I
fucking
found
love
it
that
kind
song.
of jarring at first when I was watching X8 for the first time. I didn't like the songs, but when I rewatched it, I did. And the main reason I didn't really like it is because I'd never had a song come on during Kamen Rider that had lyrics during the fight, and I was just kind of weirded out by it.
Oh, you mean in Agito?
Yeah.
Okay.
You know,
I was like,
X8's,
X8 didn't have any. That was what we were talking about.
I have X8's soundtrack on my phone with a whole bunch of other video game music, and sometimes I'll be on like shuffle, and I'll be like, "Huh, what video game is this from?" And I'll like get out my phone and be like, "Oh, it's from X8."
It's from the X8 video game.
But yeah, that's my story.
Question 4. We've seen the Spider full bottle now, but no one's used it yet. If it ever gets used by someone as their main transformation down the line, out of the systems they have right now, which would you guys prefer they use? Trans Steam, like Blood Stark and Nitro, Build Driver, or Splash Driver?
Well, it looks like it's a purified bottle. It doesn't look like a jacked up one like the Cobra or the Bat one.
Yeah, I'd want it to be trans steam, but I don't think they're gonna make it that.
Yeah,
I know
this
what
point,
it's
trans steam is like worthless. Besides the whole like
Kaiser
the,
system.
the Nebula
the Kaiser system
gun. I don't know,
The
but
funky
I
gun.
know what the spider's best match is. It's a refrigerator.
Oh, of course.
That's
Yeah.
scary.
Spider,
I like
Razoko.
that.
Yeah, you don't want to open up the refrigerator to find spiders.
You don't
No.
want to open up the spider to find refrigerators either.
That's a new nightmare that I can write down in my dream journal.
There you go.
Thank
So
you, and
it's-
looking
that's
forward
a-
to the next episode as always.
It's a
Jake the
Hitchcock
Snake.
movie right there.
Thanks for the email, Jake.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And our next email is from another longtime writer of the show, Don Piantis,
Hello.
Yes.
who says, "Hey RCR, Kamen Rider Rogue's design is so great. I love the bug eyes, especially when they take a creative approach like Kabuto's Cast Off rather than simply slapping it on. You guys might not agree with me. In contrast to Genmu, I love how Bloodstalk operates as a villain like he always has some evil scheme behind the scenes. Whereas Dan just joins in every fight and gets his ass beaten, even if that does eventually lead him to level X. I don't think any of us like Dan because of his ability to be a villain.
No.
We just like him because he's so fucking over the top and ridiculous.
Yeah.
It's because this actor is goofy as hell.
Yeah,
He
I
was
didn't
like
really
the only
Dan
good
that
actor in the
much.
show.
Yeah, I didn't really like Dan very much as a hero, so
Nah.
I only liked him as the villain, but it wasn't because of his villainous plots, it was because he was so fucking enjoyable to watch. Questions. One, if you guys haven't talked about it, what are your guys' thoughts on the new Sentai? We talked about it. Two, since Double, I assume, these series are apparently running on real time, which somehow I never considered because I never consider any show to do that. In the recent movie, Heisei Generation Final, there is a continuity error where Fourze has had his driver destroyed at this point in time, based on the Fourze Wizard movie, but this different director forgot about it. How do you guys feel about this?
Did Orange Jesus just put it back together again?
Probably.
Because that's how Shinosuke got the belt
Yeah.
sound back. He was like, "Oh yeah, I went down in that vault. Here you go.
And he's just
It's
like,
all yours, buddy."
whatever.
I don't expect like crossover movies to care about what happened in the series.
Sometimes they do, but most of the time, no.
I mean, if it's going to keep them from having a writer show up with all the rest of the writers, they're not going to do it.
Yeah, I usually writer shows lately they're trying to bring them more into the canon, but usually writer shows just fucking ignore the movies, and that's fine. That's fine with me.
I read an interesting continuity thing with X8 and Build.
Oh,
I don't
yes?
know if we discussed this yet, but you know how Build shows up in one of the later episodes of X8?
Yeah.
You know, to
Yeah,
fuck up.
yeah.
Yeah, apparently that's Katsuragi as Build.
Oh, shit!
What the
Yeah.
fuck?
What?
I could see that.
I guess that would make sense since, like, the Skywall incident has to have happened after X-Aid.
But I guess there's a continuity error in that one because he has Gorillamon.
Uh-huh.
So, but yeah,
don't you
I
mean
don't know.
Goliramond?
Goliramon, yeah.
Yeah.
I feel
thank
like
you.
anytime a writer shows up in another writer's thing, you just have to completely discount the entire episode.
Yeah. It's not canon anymore.
Question 3. Even though X8 has its unique costume design, it was so melodramatic with its characters and story that I consider it more like an anime instead. It basically trivialized death in spite of telling us how much it tells us to cherish lives. The question is, what anime or manga do you guys think could be transitioned into a Kamen Rider style, especially since Kamen Rider started as a manga? What? I'm just gonna pay attention to the last part of that. What anime or manga do you guys think could be transitioned into a Kamen Rider style?
Like a live action special effects heavy TV show?
I guess, like
G Gundam.
Yes. They could do dumb giant robot scenes that we would actually care about.
I'd be all about that shit.
Have, like, country representative riders.
Oh, God,
Oh,
I
yeah.
fucking love that.
That would be fucking amazing.
Yeah.
A UN rider, UN-themed rider.
And then there'd be a reason to have a guy that speaks English.
Ayo.
Kamen Rider America would just be my Kamen Rider Hollywood.
Yeah,
again.
that's true.
That would be a great way to do it. I feel like doing like a standard high school but with powers thing could work for Kamen Rider. Where like the big thing about it's like high school, but like instead of having superpowers, they're all training to be Kamen Riders.
Okay.
So, the Sky High movie.
What a deep cut to my
The silence that followed. It's like, what do we even say to that?
Like our brains are just rolling back the years. Like, oh god, that did exist. Yes, exactly like that. Thanks for the email, Don Piantas.
Thank you.
Our next email is from the Flesh-Colored Ranger, which is disgusting.
Just a naked guy, or...
I want you to know that.
My favorite ranger, the opaque ranger.
grosses me out. Hey, RCR. I really like the new monthly format. Talking about a big chunk of story works better than picking apart every single little thing in a 20-minute episode. Good job.
I liked picking apart every single thing in a 20-minute episode.
We don't have the time or energy to do that.
I'm not saying I can go back. I can't. But this is life now.
Thank you, though. I appreciate that you like the new format.
Yeah.
I've just been watching Blade as Excite releases them, and I gotta say, I'm underwhelmed. Maybe it's the ugly, early digital video look. Maybe it's that I can't tell the characters apart. Oh.
Like personality-wise or looks-wise?
No, every guy has the same hair and the same jacket.
Okay.
Borderline, but alright.
A little out.
How do you think it could... I love how we all went, oh.
No, I felt the same when I was watching it. I mean, a lot of the time I could kind of tell the characters apart, but I couldn't really tell you what any character was up to because none of it really had much weight. But anyway, continue.
Oh, man. It's like we watched two different shows. So weird. And, like, everybody's... Like, you guys have always raved about O's, and I'm like, yeah, it's like a standard double-alike. It's pretty good. I like these characters okay. Yeah.
It's like double, but...
I watched Blade 7 years ago, so...
How do you think it compares to other Kamen Riders of the time? Last week the monster was an S&M zebra, so I'll probably watch this to the end. Oh, you're not very far into it, then. I think I remember the S&M zebra being pretty... not that far into it. Before halfway. I think if you don't like Blade once you get past 12, then it's probably just not for you.
Interesting. I'll have to keep that in mind when I'm watching it.
How do I think it compares to other Kamen Riders of the time? I feel like it shares a lot of the same problems, where a bunch of episodes will happen in a row where like nothing really changes, even though it's acting like it is. A lot of early Heisei has that problem.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I think Agito's really the only one that escapes that.
Yeah, I can agree.
It's well paced. Agito is.
The pacing is definitely an issue in Blade. Again, it has a terrible start. Other Rider series usually start fairly strong, or at least give you an idea of where they're going to go, but Blade like completely shifts gears after about 12 episodes. I think that's it. I feel like it pretty much stacks up comparatively. It finishes a hell of a lot better than Fi's does.
Yeah, holy shit, yeah.
You don't even know how it ends. You're like, fuck, Fi's is so bad, it's bad.
I don't
regardless.
have to know. Like, you can't possibly end worse than Fi's.
Everyone just goes home.
The end.
Fucking the Delta finally gets his wish. He goes home.
Yeah. He was the real winner of that series.
He just wants to go home.
I had a lot of fun watching Jetman along with you guys. I'm sure you're busy, but any plans on another Legacy series watch? Can I suggest Japanese Spider-Man?
Ooh.
Is that subbed?
Yeah, it's subbed on Marvel.com, or it was.
What?
Yeah. For a long time, you could go to Marvel.com and just watch it.
That's funny.
I don't think it's there anymore. I'd have to check, but there are subs of it out there. Well, we'll talk about another Legacy series someday. Like, it seems like we might not be picking Lupinranger versus Patranger up. We'll see how Liam and Tomas feel about it.
See if I ever get off my ass.
And if they ever get on it or find any interest in it, we might pick it up. But otherwise, we might pick up some type of a Legacy series.
And I still need to give a full report on Q Ranger. I still haven't finished it.
Working
I'm
on
looking
your
forward to that
powering.
report.
I know Billy Kumo / Ian Vaffler wants me to give a full report on it.
You've got a mission.
I'm looking forward to that report, actually, because I gave up so early on it, and everybody instantly started telling me I was making a mistake. So I want to know if I made a mistake.
No.
There's the report.
Yeah.
Hope you enjoyed, Ian.
Yeah, Max,
Yes
you mentioned
yes,
earlier.
there's a yes and no in there.
You mentioned earlier that it's kind of up and down, right?
Yeah, if I could make like a select collection of episodes, then yeah, it would be like probably 15 episodes or so. But
Editor's choice.
Maybe you should do that. Maybe you should pick out your editor's choice episodes.
I'm not going through the episodes again.
Too much effort.
I can't blame you. Oh, and how about that top hat on the new Sentai robot? I thought it was actually really clever to have.
Oh shit! The dial is a top hat.
Yeah, a combination locks dial. It turns into a top hat.
I never
on top
saw
of a
it.
robot.
I didn't see it until now in my mind's eye. That is great.
I thought that was really clever. The other two don't know.
I have no clue. I bet it's cool.
Our next email is from Timeline, who sent us a link to the Amazon's movie trailer, which I posted on Twitter earlier. Did you guys see that?
I did
No,
see
I
that.
didn't.
Nope.
I guess it's a me and Liam time. Now it's a good thing there's four of us. We can always keep two people in it. What did you think of... Do you like the look of it? Do you think they'll be able to properly close off the story while introducing so much stuff last minute? Thanks, Timeline.
In short, no, I don't. I think the movie looks like a bit of a clusterfuck. I think it's probably not helped by the fact that there weren't any subs and I didn't know what was going on, but...
Yeah.
Here's
what I gathered
What's that?
by watching it. There is a new Amazon's Messiah. He is an older guy who apparently had something to do with the creation of Amazons.
Okay.
And the Amazons have flooded away from Haruka since he went on his little mission in Amazon Season 2. And they are now a cult underneath the new Amazon's Messiah.
Okay.
And Haruka is trying to free them from his influence, and he is trying to wipe out humanity with them.
I could see that.
And I think that's a good place to take the characters, because Haruka was basically Amazon's Jesus, and then he shirked his responsibilities.
Mm-hmm. As long as they show some balls and actually end it, which it seems like they will, given the movie... What's the movie called? Like, Final... Super...
I think it's just called Kamen Rider Amazons the movie.
No, it has... It's the movie... Saikyo no Batoru or something like that. Like
the final battle.
Final battle, ultimate battle. I don't know. It seems like...
I think they're going to end it because
they fucking better.
Toei doesn't really have the ability to keep a cast together.
Yeah,
that's why
true.
they stop the show every year.
Yeah.
So I'm going to say that this is the end. I think the truth is somewhere in between my not good outlook on it and Liam's super pessimistic one.
Sure.
It'll probably have a very unsatisfactory ending that at least ends it.
Yeah, that's fine.
The truth is out there.
Season 1 had a perfectly satisfactory ending, I thought. I was fine with that.
Our next email is from Jason, a.k.a. Nishka. Who has written to us a bunch of times and has also written to M-Class Podcast a bunch of times. So I appreciate you, Jason.
A double fan.
He says, "Hi, Rider boys."
Whoa.
Sup, Game Boys.
No, I'm not gonna do it. It's
an M-Class.
it's an M-Class thing. Yeah.
I know I just tweeted at you, but I had to say it again. What a great time to be into Toku. To go from 2 years ago, where there wasn't even a Rider series, Toei just aired 30 minutes of random gibberish with commercials, to today, where we have Build, arguably one of the best Toku series ever commissioned, a show where people die and it has emotional weight, where real stakes happen and everything isn't just hand-waved back to normal after each arc.
So, like, it's a real TV show that has, the superhero shit we like.
It's actual sequential storytelling. How about that shit?
That's usually the concession we have to make whenever we watch Kamen Rider. We have to accept this isn't really going to be as good as if you just watch some other show. But you can't expect it to be.
Damn. There's some truth in that. He says, "Build is pleasure, and Lupin is aftercare. Hope you guys have been able to give it a chance." Well, two of us have.
Half of us saw it.
Aftercare.
It's worth a peer.
Yeah, I think so. I think it'll go somewhere more interesting as time goes on.
Yeah.
Okay, so massive Toku jerk-off session over. Time for questions. 1. If you have been watching the new Sentai, Cops or Robbers? Personally, I'm digging the Thieves' charm. Max?
I like the police officers' outfits.
I thought they looked dumb, but upon seeing them in motion, I think they look way better than the Thieves' outfits.
Yeah, I like how they have the little hat, visor.
I like how they have actual armor on their shoulders and down their arms.
The shoulder pads look really cool, and like the leg bits as well.
Yeah, they're a
as
cool
I
look.
said before, the gun looks better.
I like the cops' personalities. They're very like shallow personalities right now, but I like to see where they're going better than the thieves. I like the blue thief. That's pretty much the only one of the thieves I really like.
Agreed.
2, a new Space Squad film has been announced, but it looks like it will really just be Q-Ranger with Gavon and Scheider. How do you feel about this? I love the Space Sheriffs, but Q-Ranger has me concerned. I didn't watch a lot of the series, but what I did felt very inconsistent and not really gripping.
You got inconsistent correct.
Hopefully,
if you put Space Sheriffs in a movie, I'll watch it.
Yeah, hopefully the movie has a different writer-director than Space Sentai did, so...
Yeah.
Like, I fucking love Space Sheriffs. So you put them in a movie, I'll be right up its ass instantaneously. I will overlook the Q Rangers.
You mean the Q Rangers are in the movie?
Yeah.
Oh, well, if they're outside of like the series, they're probably going to be fine.
Probably so. I wonder what it's going to be, because like Space Sheriff Gavon versus Gokaiger had a great setup. Space Pirates versus Space Cop.
Mm-hmm.
Space
This
Cop.
is like Space Idiots versus Space Sheriff.
Not that Space Cop.
Oh,
They should do a crossover. Space Sheriff versus Space Cop.
I'm sure that would totally happen.
Look, Space Cop is very popular in Uganda. So...
anything is possible.
Question 3. If you could bring back one Toku series in its original form, not Amazon style, for one more season, 26 to 50 episodes, what would it be? I think I'd like to see more Super 1. Had a lot of fun with that series, and I wasn't ready for it to end, no matter how badly he wanted to defraud people.
That has to be Showa.
It can be anything.
Black, I guess.
yeah, I was going to say maybe Black, just because I don't think you could get much more out of any of the other shows I watched. They all felt like they they reached a good endpoint,
Really?
or if they didn't
They already-
reach a good endpoint, that they ended so
Oh, yeah, they
badly
made
they
Black
don't need another
RX.
second season.
They already brought Black back. It's called Black RX.
exactly what I was gonna say about Black. Is Black ended on a fine point, a nice little bittersweet ending. I don't think we need any more
I don't
Black.
think Black
Okay,
should have
well, I didn't
continued the way
watch
it
it.
did.
Yeah.
I just think that Black is cool. I didn't
Yeah.
watch all of Black.
Here's what I think. I think we should have 50 more episodes about Black RX, where it turns out Black RX was a dream, and then have a good season after it.
Is that what Roseanne is? Because they're remaking Roseanne. Or not, they're rebooting
They're
Roseanne.
rebooting Roseanne.
Yeah.
Why?
I hated Roseanne the first thing. I
Yeah.
don't need another one.
Now it's Roseanne RX. Yeah.
You beat me to it, Max.
I choose Space Sheriff Gavon, and I don't want it to happen back in the day. I want it to happen now.
With the new characters.
And I want it to be about old Gavon and his like crazy ass space adventures.
How about Big Bad Beetleborgs?
Big Bad Beetleborgs?
Juco
I don't want it to
Fighter.
be. I don't want it to happen right after Big Bad Beetleborgs ended. Saban ended the contract. I want it to happen now with all those drug-addled child actors coming back and playing the same characters.
Yeah, that'd be great. I'm sure that'd go fantastic.
What the
Child
hell is
actors
Dex
always
doing
lead great
from Masked
lives.
Rider?
Yeah.
I actually have a different idea. I don't, because the show ends in a way that you can't have more like rider fights. I would like to see a mini series of Drive of Shinosuke being a detective and being on the force and
That'd be
working
cool.
with the special investigation unit. And obviously
That'd be
he
cool.
can't have, the belt. He can't have belts on, but you still have a really strong supporting cast, and I felt like the show worked really. You have Chase, not Chase proper, but you have like the traffic cop.
The detective that he, or the traffic cop that he copied. Yeah.
Maka's still around too,
Mm-hmm.
so he could be a rider.
In Dr. Pac-Man, Shinosuke said that even if he can't transform, he's still a Kamen Rider.
Ayo.
And I believe that. I thought he
too.
was a really good character, and I liked Drive.
I want 26 episodes. I'll do 2 series. Fuck you. I want 26 episodes of Kamen Rider Joker.
Oh.
Okay, I'm gonna have to just double down with you on that one.
That would be so
down.
fucking awesome.
But they're already doing the
G3X
sequel
series.
with Fudo Detective.
Yeah, but I mean, could you imagine like him transforming in every episode and doing that like
Yeah, it's called Kamen Rider 1.
Whatever.
Max, I would absolutely watch a G3X series. No
Oh,
question.
hell yeah.
Oh yeah.
That'd be amazing.
I love
It just sounds like
Makoto.
we all
Everybody's-
want crime drama.
Everybody's lovable Hikawa.
Yeah.
A G3X series with like the G3 team,
Yeah.
and like there's a new threat that's like a lord. That's like how the Lord showed up after the Grongi disappeared,
Yeah.
but he's the only one that can still fight.
That'd
Or
be fucking
the
great.
G3 plans got leaked or something because the G4 team or something.
Yeah.
So
And
it's
then
like Metal Gear
all the
Solid
plans
4.
got. Yeah, and he has
Yeah.
to destroy all the Metal Gears.
He becomes philanthropy with the lady, who I can't remember.
I don't remember what Big
Hikawa.
Boss's team was.
Which team?
No, not Hikawa.
The
Like
Diamond
his-
Dogs,
No, not the Diamond Dogs.
Soldiers
The
Without
ones
Borders?
before that. Yeah, but there's
Yeah.
like the
Militaire
Militaire
Sans
Sans
Frontiers.
Yeah.
there it is. Yeah.
Yeah.
MSF. Oh, was it Sawa
No.
in Agito?
Mana.
No.
Osawa.
Hikawa's
Yeah.
team member.
It's
Oh
Osawa.
shit! I will never remember. the
Osawa.
names.
Osawa.
And
I
then
said Sawa.
forgettable idiot.
Yeah, forgettable
Yeah.
idiot that never gets enough food at the hot pot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd watch the fuck
Ogawa.
out of that show.
Ogawa.
Ogawa.
Yeah.
Ogawa. There you go.
I'm just gonna agree with what anyone says. Ogawa.
And the old detective guy who's like a complete badass is also there. That'd be cool.
I'd watch the shit out of that show.
I loved in... Oh, never mind. I won't talk about the last episode.
Oh, yeah. Our last email of the night is from Anna, a.k.a. Anachronist on Twitter, Anachronist42, who says, "Hey guys, it's Anna, and hopefully I'm getting this in on time. If not, no problemo. I'm going to try and keep my question from being too dated."
Let's see.
She has continually tried to send us emails that never make it to us. So, I finally get the email out of spam a week later, but I super whitelisted her this time, so it came through.
Perfect.
Now that Max and Tamaz are on the show, and we've gotten a few more Rider OPs since the question's last been asked, what is everyone's top 3 Rider OPs? Mine are unquestionably Agito's, count 0, Phi's, ends justifies the means, and O's, anything goes coming up O's.
Who first?
I'll go first. Black is number 1. Show. Justifies number 2. I can't ignore Justifies. And this might be controversial, but I really liked Kabuto's opening. I liked Kabuto's theme song. Yeah, I know you do. You shit.
I hate it.
But it's good. It's really good.
I can't stand it.
Yeah, whatever.
Mine are... I gotta agree with Agito. Count 0 is fucking amazing. Blade Elements...
Oh yeah, that one is really good. Yep.
Is really, really fucking good. And I don't know, man. I might have to give it to Xaid.
Really?
Ooh.
I fucking love Xaid's theme.
I thought Excite was totally forgettable.
I love it.
I liked it, but it was just
Fuck.
I
Dude,
loved the
love
first
Excite.
half of Excite before it got into the chorus.
I don't know. Excite got me pumped.
Excite. Yeah, me too.
It got me pumped up for the episode. Then it got me all sad when they didn't play the opening anymore.
Because you knew shit was gonna go down.
Yeah. But they ended up playing it during the episode anyway, so...
What
Yeah,
about
they used it
yours,
as a
Max?
closer.
I gotta say Agito because it's so good, especially
Count
the
0 is good.
the second variation of it was
Where they work in
amazing.
the bass line.
Oh yeah.
You can
Oh,
you
hell
can
yeah.
do it. Count 0.
Yeah.
I'd have to say Surprise Drive
That's actually a really
I like
good
Surprise
one.
Drive.
is immaculate. And this is gonna sound weird, but I have a really big soft spot for Wizards opening.
Oh yeah? Wow.
It's so poppy and it does not represent the show at all.
I like the
But
opening
I like
song,
it.
but the video that goes with it is whatever.
Man, I'm gonna have to give an honorable mention if I can't include it to Kuga's opening.
I was just gonna say no one said Kuga yet. That's astonishing.
I was gonna say Kuga Agito double and be incredibly predictable, but I love Drive's
Those are
opening.
3 good ass OPs.
Yeah.
Though.
Honorable mention to Drive, and I mean, I am head over heels in love with Build's opening. I absolutely adore it.
Really? Be the one?
Yeah, I love that song, and I
The one's alright.
I
It's
really
fine.
like the song, and I even really like the video that goes with it. Sometimes the video's just kind of okay. They're just dinking around, but I really like everything about Build's opening.
Liam, I remember you saying that you actually liked Ghost's opening a lot.
I did like Ghost's opening. I like Ghost's
Disgusting.
song. It's pretty good.
Disgusting.
The song is actually not that bad.
Thank
I hate
you.
that song.
Sometimes
I
I
hate that
have it in
song.
my head and I'm like, what is... Oh, it's Ghost. What the fuck?
I think overall something I found is that it doesn't really matter how good the Kamen Rider show itself is. It always seems the music is good. Whoever is on their team over there with John Toei doing the music, they're they're at 1.0 on their baseball roster of how good their music is for the show. It always fits.
Yeah,
That's true.
Which honestly I think is pretty incredible. All of these shows, of varying degrees of quality. Maybe you like this one, maybe you don't. But I've never watched a Kamen Rider show and hated the music.
I hate the opening to Kabuto.
You fucking asshole. It's not. It's good. It's a good opening. Shut your face.
Openings.
Black would have been on my list, but I actually like Black's second transformation theme way better than the opening theme.
Oh my god, how could I forget Wake Up the Hero?
Oh yeah.
Oh, God, that's a good theme. Dragon Road?
Road.
Dragon Road is so fucking good.
Dragon Road's great. Endless fight.
Yeah, but Black's second opening with like the choir.
Yeah, no, his second transformation theme is incredible.
That is probably the best song in Kamen Rider history.
Yeah, you can't beat it.
Thanks for. Oh, there's more. There's more questions, everybody.
Shit.
Second, how vital do you think it is if you're showing a season of Kamen Rider to someone who's interested to go over the extraneous material like net movies or HBVs or the big theatrical movies, since only recently they've started becoming canon to the series? I know it depends on the season, but I guess as a general rule, where do you stand on it?
Only show
General
good.
rule, I avoid it. I just don't think it's important unless it's good enough. Like, I went and rewatched Double with someone, and we watched A to Z, and that was it.
Yeah, that's all you need.
If they'd like the series or something, I'd be like, well, there's more.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. For the most part, like, I would never bring up extraneous material to somebody while I'm showing them the series.
Yeah.
Because that's, like, complicating it, and that's a good way to turn somebody off from something where it's like, oh, if you like this thing, there's actually a million other things you have to watch.
Yeah.
I think the most jarring thing to do would be to like, okay, so here's episode 13, but there's actually a theatrical movie release that happens between 13 and 14, so we have to watch this hour-and-a-half movie before we can watch the next episode, because it introduces,
And before you ask, it has nothing to do with the show, so...
Yeah, they
And
will
your
never
date's
talk
gone.
about this.
You look over and your date's just gone.
You gotta fit in the Cowboy Bebop movie into the series. Where does it go?
Not even your cat's listening to you anymore.
Lastly, any games you've all been really into lately besides the new Monster Hunter?
Oh,
I've been sick a lot lately.
I was gonna say Monster
Yeah.
Hunter.
I was too.
Yeah.
So. I've been sick a lot lately, so I've been burning through a lot of small games like Iconoclast, SteamWorld, Dig 1 and 2, and Danganronpa V3. And was curious if any of you had any new game you were really getting into lately.
We actually had a short conversation about Iconoclasts on Twitter.
Oh, yeah?
I was just saying that I always thought it looked interesting. And I was sort of following one of the developers, or the developer. And, I don't know, I just want to pick it up, maybe when it's on sale or something.
Well, other than Monster Hunter
But,
World, I was replaying Final Fantasy XII because of the Zodiac Age release, and I have been playing that a bunch on Steam. But other than that, not too much recently.
I've been completely absorbed in Subnautica, which is so much fun. I cannot recommend it enough.
Josh has been streaming that a lot lately.
Yeah, it's super
like,
good.
A lot. Like 8 hours at a time, a lot.
Jesus.
He loses track of time.
Yeah, it's
because he loves it so much.
Yeah, it's a game that's easy to forget what's going on around you in the world when you play it, because you get so into it.
I've basically been playing Mario Odyssey since they released Luigi's Balloon World. Like, it got to the point where I have 999 moons, and I have 9,999 coins, so I can't even play Balloon Hunt anymore. And I've spent all my money on everything.
Jesus.
So I started a new game.
Wait, you can't play it unless you have...
No, you can, but it's pointless. You don't get anything.
Oh.
I started a new game.
You get to pop balloons, which is nice.
That is fun. It's fun to try and find where the fuck people are hiding these things.
I'm bad. I'm bad at that.
I was bad until I figured out that like people hide them in almost the same exact places. So if you find one, you'll find every one.
I remember
someone
trying to
else's
find
head.
your balloons, and they were in really easy spots.
Yeah, I put them in real simple spots because, like, you get coins when people find it. You get more coins when someone finds it than you do every time someone doesn't.
You fucking cheater.
And I was just like, I just put it in a
Cheating.
quick place and get a bunch of coins.
Just gaming the system.
You fucking
Oh.
Ferengi. With your gold pressed latinum coins.
I've been playing a lot of my friend Kevin's game Hack as well.
Yeah, you gotta plug the game, don't you?
It's fun. It's a really fun game. It's like a roguelike, and I like roguelikes. So.
No, Kevin's a cool guy.
He is. He's a good dude. I'm not plugging it just because I'm making a T-shirt design for it right now or anything either.
No, of course
I'm
not.
definitely not doing that. HAQUE on Steam.
Uh-huh.
I'm ashamed to say that I've been playing World of Warcraft again.
Shame.
He relapsed.
Throw them out.
Well, I gotta catch up on the shit that I missed.
How long
Before
have you
the-
not been playing it?
Well, I stopped like 2 months after like the new expansion came out, and they added a whole bunch of new shit. So
Ah.
yeah, and then there's a new expansion coming out not next year, later this year. I think in like September.
What's the one that's out now?
Legion.
Legion. Okay.
Yeah.
Hmm.
The next one is Battle for Azeroth. I
Isn't it
think?
always a battle for Azeroth?
Eh. Sometimes the story kind of combines the two
I see.
together.
I see.
I've actually been since Demon Souls servers went down. I got really like nostalgic for playing Demon Souls, so I started playing. I have Dark Souls 2 downloaded on my PS4 just so it's always available. So I've been playing a little bit of that because I found out there's a Red Eye Knight build that you can make, like the Red Eye Knights from Demon Souls.
Oh shit.
And it looks just like it.
That's
and
funny.
it has all the same abilities. So I've been making that build so I can invade people and scare them.
Yeah, but you gotta play Dark Souls 2.
Dark Souls 2 is fine.
The last time, like, when we were doing co-op playthroughs, we got to Dark Souls 2, and we played it for, like, 5 hours, and you were so bored you didn't want to play with me anymore.
Because I just finished it before we started playing it. For, like, the third time. It doesn't have as much replay value as 1 or 3 is kind of in the same boat for replay value, but 3 is a more polished game than 2 or 1.
I didn't even finish 3.
3's fine. I feel like people got it in their heads that they wanted Dark Souls, and when anything changed, they were mad, and when it was the same, they were mad.
I didn't really want...
Isn't that the
I was...
the Zelda thing as well?
Yeah.
Exactly, yeah.
I don't really know what I expected. I just kind of got tired of the formula overall, and so I was like, well, I don't really need to play this because I've already kind of played this.
You just don't like it because poise isn't a thing anymore.
No, I really don't care. I just... it's-
3 I understand that with for sure, because it's like so much recycled from 1.
Which is
Even
why
the
I'm more
storyline
excited to
is
play
recycled from 1.
Because I just got a PS4 from a friend of mine.
Yeah, Bloodborne's a different beast. I love Bloodborne a lot.
Bloodborne's fucking fantastic.
And I'm probably going to start a new character so I can co-op with Tamaz whenever he wants to.
Are you going to be a karate chop man?
Maybe.
I saw that the unarmed melee is like karate chopping.
Yeah, you can actually work that out to not be god-awful.
Kind of like
It's
how
not
you,
easy.
Kind of like
you
how
can
you
find
do
the
the melee
gloves of the
build in
pugilist.
Yeah. Man, Bloodborne is a fun game, though. And we got off, like, way off topic. Those are the games we've been playing recently.
Yeah, I'm a scumbag who just plays shitty games. Like, I play League of Legends too, yeah, okay.
Wow.
I'm shitty.
Nice. You're allowed to play whatever games you want.
No, he's not. Don't put these
Liam,
ideas.
you were playing Overwatch before this.
Shut up. Shut your mouth. Stop.
Even I'm not
Anyway.
playing Overwatch anymore.
Because it doesn't work on your computer anymore.
Well, yeah, there's that too.
Ooh.
It started
Anna
crashing.
Anna continues. Thanks again for the podcast and being very cool dudes and everything. You're the best, Anna.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. P.S. I'm glad we have hazard form now, so we can finally stop seeing Rabbit Tank sparkling nearly as much.
He still uses
Sparkling is
it once
good.
in a while.
Rabbit Tank sparkling sucks.
It's good.
Aww.
And that's all for the emails tonight. If we didn't read your email, I'm sorry. It's a time thing. We're already at like
We're
fucking
creeping up on 3 hours, yeah.
So, continue to write in, and we'll continue to read them. This was a heavy month for emails. Sometimes we get none. Other times we get 20. So, thanks to everybody who wrote in. And if you would like to write in to us, you can send us over an email at that old email address, riderclubradio@gmail.com.
You were
Or-
trying not to say M-class email, weren't you?
I have to remind myself of that address so much. It's always right at the front of my brain.
Or you can send an email to M-Class emails. No, or you can
I mean, he'll
follow
get
us. Follow us
Yeah,
on
send
Twitter.
it to M-class emails. Do that.
No, I don't have that address. It's singular. M-class
Okay.
email.
Follow us on Twitter at Rider Club Radio to find good retweets and photos and shit.
Yeah, and that's where you can find our personal Twitters as well.
it. And
Yeah.
maybe you'll
Yeah,
find
I think it's
Liam
in the
drunk
pinned
tweeting.
tweet. Yes.
Maybe you'll see me drunk tweet. Haven't done it in a long time though, so don't get your hopes up.
You're getting older.
I'm getting older.
Yeah,
my
you're
my
getting
liver can't
wiser.
handle as much.
His
Yeah.
cirrhosis of the liver is finally acting up. Yeah, you can find our personal Twitters in the pinned tweet, along with a Discord you can join if you're starved for companionship.
Wow.
Like
Jeez.
a blog we don't use anymore, and I don't know,
Well,
coupon for the Sizzler.
It's a treasure trove.
the
pretty
blog
much.
is where you have all your old episodes, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
So if you ever want to learn about or watch Drive along with the episodes or Ghost.
You can find those on YouTube as well.
Mhm.
Okay. Yep. And what's that YouTube?
It's Rider Club Radio.
Yeah, it's all Rider Club Radio. Actually, the whole thing.
If you guys are good, you'll follow all those things, and you'll be a fan, and you'll tell all your friends, your family, your clergy, your neighbors.
Your dog.
And they'll
dogs.
laugh. They'll laugh awkwardly and then turn away and change the subject.
Yeah, just be that guy in your group of friends that's like,
Yeah.
oh yeah, this fucking TV show, it's great, you should watch it, and then no one watches it.
And then they all just get back to talking about Stranger Things.
Yeah.
All right, everybody. We'll see
ya.
you next month on
It
Rider
sounds like
Club
we've had
Radio.
personal experiences with that.
Bye.
Bye bye.
Bye.
手を伸ばし掴み取れ君求めるものまた誰かが平気な顔をして夢だと笑っても Ready to go カウンセラー仮面ライダーアギト君のままで変わればいい Here we go カウンセラー仮面ライダーアギト今君がいないと Get on痛みさえ伴うだろうその誰もが諦めそうな何かに立ち上がる Lady to go counselor 仮面ライダーアギト見てるだけの君でいいかい Here we go カウンセラー仮面ライダーアギト今君がいないと Get ready to go カウンセラー仮面ライダーアギト君のままで変わればいい Here we go カウンセラー仮面ライダーアギト